make a lot of noise? What are you saying?
No.
Oh, you mean you have a door and you can close it and jerk off?
Yeah, I don't think there's a lock on the door.
You don't think there's a lock on the door?
Pretty sure it's not.
So get a do not sign.
Well, once you close the door, was your roommate barrel in?
Sometimes,
Yeah,
depending upon what time of day.
Well, tell him he can't be doing that, man. You need some jerk-off
Right,
time.
all you need is a little sign that says, don't bother me now.
Everybody needs jerk-off time, man.
How old's your roommate?
Same age.
So then say to him, hey, I'm going to go jerk off. Don't come in.
All right.
Hey, let me ask you something. I just thought of this. When you threw out sent you, aren't you afraid the garbage man will find your trash can and think...
No.
What if he sees it in there? And then he goes, oh...
Eric.
It's in the... There's still houses being worked on in this new area, and it's in one of their dumpsters.
It's like an episode of Three's Company.
You're saying no one can trace it back to your house. It means, though, that someone... The garbage man is looking going, someone in this area... You should have written a note on it. Look, I'm not... This was sent to me.
Just throwing out.
Because what if the guy traces it with fingerprints, and he sees Eric's fingerprints?
That's not my palm print.
You won't have my fingerprints. I was the one that opened it. My roommate opened the box.
And he wore gloves. I better wear gloves so when I handle the... They won't see fingerprints.
Well, what they'll say, Eric, is, boy, that guy's pretty... It's sad. That guy has to open up Eric's...
How do you know the garbage man doesn't know it's your garbage? You're saying there's one giant dumpster for the community?
There's still houses under construction.
Mm-hmm.
So my roommate put it in one of their dumpsters.
Oh, so he said, I'm not putting this one in our dumpster. I'm going to get this to another dumpster.
Right.
Wow, look what went on with this.
They're trying to get it as far away as possible.
So you mean he could have put it in your dumpster, but he chose not to because he didn't want to be accused of...
Right.
Wow. Listen to the thought that went into this. I was only kidding. Did he throw out at night so no one could see him throwing it out?
Pretty sure he did.
Yeah.
Did he wear a disguise?
He wore a stocking mask.
And a hoodie?
You realize what we did by sending... Like he had to dispose of it?
Uproar.
Wear camouflage pants and use night vision goggles.
It's like
Gets all over the place like...
he was like trying to get rid of a... You know? Like, where do we dispose of this...
If someone said, right, I would drive like 8 miles away and...
You put it in the trunk of your car and bury it.
Look for a place to...
Then what happens if you get stopped and your car gets searched?
Yeah.
And it's full of gay porn?
And you're in living hell. You're in a living hell.
Buddy.
He rolled the carpet and dragged it out.
Took it out on a boat and put chains on it.
There you go. Drunk it.
Take it out 3 miles. International waters.
He did a big...
Bring me some cement.
So, your roommate opened it. You saw the... He said, I'm going to dispose of this.
Right.
And he went out at night. I assume you got the package in the morning, so he had to wait all day to dispose.
Actually, he didn't go to the post office box until the afternoon.
Okay. So how long was before you disposed of it?
Maybe an hour at the most.
Now, wait a minute. When he opened up the package, did you tell him there was going to be at least one?
Yep.
He warned
he
him.
was ready.
That's why Eric didn't open it.
I'll tell you what, Eric, that's 59 minutes and 59 seconds longer than it would have been in my house.
So for the hour that there, what did you guys do with it? Like, where was it?
Just sat in the box that it came in.
Did you sit there staring at it?
No.
So it sat in the box, and then he said, don't worry, come nightfall, I'll dispose of this.
Right.
There was an actual discussion about throwing it out at night.
Yeah.
You're not kidding?
Oh, he threw it out when he went and walked my brother's dog.
Okay.
We're dog sitting.
So he specifically took the gift card. Did he put it in something, or he just took it out with him and the dog?
He had it just in the FedEx box.
Okay. And does the FedEx box have your name and stuff on it?
No, I'm sure he took that stuff off of it.
You're sure? So you're saying the garbage man might have found the FedEx box with your name.
And it has your name on it.
And the...
You're done.
Also has your guy's name on it, too.
Well, we don't care about that.
We don't do it. We're not embarrassed.
It could have been sent to us. We're a radio show.
So you mean you went to all that trouble to get rid of the right away, but you put it in the mailing box? Are you insane? You got to be kidding me. So you're completely attached to the... Your name is on it.
It's all over you.
What were you thinking?
I'm sure the label was off the box.
Yeah, you're not sure. You don't know that.
I don't know. Why would he rip the label off?
Yeah, your roommate doesn't care.
Actually, we never asked where Richard came up with that so quickly. Where'd he get the...
Well, we have tons of it here. They send it to us.
See, that's
and Richard watches it because we take clips.
That's our explanation, and it's it's the truth.
Did you at least see the box?
Yeah, a little bit of it.
What'd you see? What was on the...
Just the name.
Yeah, and what else? It's a guy with a big wasn't it?
I didn't really look.
He said the CD had a big... Or the DVD actually has the...
And the back pictures were guys putting their in each other's... You saw that. You know you saw it.
You turned it over and looked at it.
No, I didn't.
Yes, he saw it. He's so homophobic, he won't even admit he saw the... He's a little bit curious. You looked.
Nope.
Yeah. Well, you must have been a little bit interested. You read the names.
I only saw the name of the movie, not the names of the actors.
Sure. Yeah. All right.
Can't believe that out there in a box with your name on it.
It's like whatever Eric's last name is, and I don't even know Eric's last name. What is your last name?
Why should I say it now?
All right, don't say it.
Yeah, because everybody's going to know you had...
All I know is the garbage man now knows your link. I didn't know. I knew the guy had problems. I didn't know he was gay.
Oh, Eric's done with this one.
You always wanted your name to be changed. Now it is Eric the Gay Midget.
No, seriously, Eric, the next time, wipe your name. Like, make sure of that. Don't leave that to your roommate. Forever you could be linked.
The whole neighborhood will be abuzz.
A buzz.
Your moves on the field.
So, I don't understand something. What was the name of it again?
The Jag 2.
All right. Why did you choose Gigantic Titties 2?
Because Brandon Taylor was
Okay, that's your favorite.
That's one of his favorites.
All right. And so how much of the movie did you get to watch?
I watched the whole thing.
I can't believe that.
So you mean you sit there torturing yourself, watch, but you won't shut the door to...
No.
Wow.
How do you watch a whole...
Yeah, I mean, was it interesting? Was it that interesting?
I don't know anyone who watches a whole...
And never jerks off.
Did you get a boner?
I was actually watching the other parts on Fast Forward.
Did you get a boner when you were watching this thing?
Yeah.
What other parts did you watch on Fast Forward?
The other actresses. I was just watching her mainly.
I see. So every time there was a Britney scene, you stopped.
So how many hours did you wait between viewing the film and then...
Oh, yeah, my roommate just told me the name tag was ripped up in another garbage can.
Yeah, right. So you're telling me he took the name tag off the FedEx box, ripped it up, put that in a separate... So he didn't even want the ripped up garbage. I don't believe this.
I'm not buying.
I have no reason to be lying to you right now.
Hey, you don't want to see him gay.
No, I'm just saying your roommate's probably doing a big cover-up. You mean to tell me he put that in separate garbage pails? The name tag The ripped up name tag, and then...
Never happened.
Oh, Fred, what? No.
It never happened. Jesus. You're a midget. You're in your bed. You're going to trust some guy? He probably just threw it out in the front trash, and they're going to find it. He's lying to you.
Sit back there and shut up like you usually do.
It'd be funny if like, the roommate
you don't want to face the truth, do you, Eric?
Put a big sign on the door.
No, and he just left it propped up by the door.
Oh, no, they're going to paint my door now pink.
But, Eric, you got a boner. What do you do with the boner? What, you just stand, you don't jerk off? I mean, you just sit there with a hard-on watching the rest of a...
What's great is a gay garbage man rang the doorbell and went, do you have a boner right now?
I mean, you know,
Hi, you have any extra trash inside?
I've never...
I love Daddy's discipline, too.
I didn't realize you collected gay... That'd be great.
Not everybody likes.
No one knows I'm gay, but I can see I can trust you. Get out of my room.
You work out?
That'd be cool if the garbage man was gay. Yeah. He's like, hey, I saw that movie, too. It's my fave.
What scene's your favorite?
So when you watch the movie Big Titties 2, what was your favorite scene? Like, what did you like best?
I mainly liked watching Brandy.
Doing what, though? Blowing a guy or getting laid?
They must be doing things with the breast.
So what do you like best? What do you like to...
Just like what Robin said.
Yeah, they're effing the breasts, I think.
Oh, titty. That's what you like?
Yeah, but I focus just on that. I don't focus anywhere else.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, he doesn't even see the man's...
Oh, I see.
That's how straight...
I don't see his balls swinging back and forth.
He's so straight.
That he doesn't see the guy.
No.
I don't see his taint.
See, now you're protesting too much.
I didn't even see the guy. I didn't see his... He shot his load.
Who concentrates that much?
Oh, that's funny.
You're like people who don't see skin color. You know? Like you don't even see the guy's ball sack. You don't even notice. Hey, Eric, so you watch it all the way through. Now you've had a boner for, what, I don't know, an hour? So when did you wait till nightfall?
Yeah, I just let it naturally go away.
What?
I just let it go away.
Yeah, but when do you remember to take care of yourself?
But aren't you irritable? Like, I get irritable after I've had blue balls for so long.
Well, he's irritable all the time.
Were you irritable all day? Like, God, I can't wait to get to my bed so I can...
No, I waited till I could.
Nah. See, he likes to rub into the bed, so it's kind of hard. But
you don't like it just sitting up in your chair.
It would be very difficult for him to actual... Because he has to lay in the bed and rub into the sheets. So you got dressed that night in your PJ pants, and you got into bed. The lights are out, I assume.
Like half.
And then you started to think about Big...
Yeah.
And then you rubbed into the bed?
Yeah.
And you came all over your PJ pants?
And then went to sleep.
And went to sleep in that mess.
And then urinated on myself.
That's a fun morning.
Well, so were you able to remember most of the movie?
Yeah.
Good. Because I feel sad for you that you can't watch the at the same time.
Well, he could. He just won't.
See, he loves laying in that bed and rubbing into it.
Yeah.
So I think in a way...
It's almost like being with a woman?
Well, no, I'm saying in a way it's like it would be hard for him to even watch the... He could set the computer up somehow in the bed while he's rubbing.
They have DVD machines that'll go elsewhere.
No, but he'd have to have it to the left of him, like... You know what I mean? It's a whole... it's a whole thing.
That's a production.
Yeah. How long did it take you to blow your load after seeing a movie like that?
Not long.
Yeah, I bet. After a full day of walking around like that. You know.
How do you concentrate on anything?
Well, what's he going to do, Artie? What's he got to distract himself from?
I'm saying, when you want to come...
You know what we should do for him? We should build a TV screen into his headboard. Do you have a headboard on your bed?
No.
Like, so he and look at the TV. At the
yeah,
same
well,
time.
even if it's the wall, whatever's in front of you.
And when people came into the room, they'd be like, well, why is there your TV behind your bed? You go, well, when I...
See, I my bed.
Can it be behind the bed? Can it be at the bottom?
That's true. He could face the other direction, I
but
suppose.
that'd be too far away. He couldn't reach the control.
All right.
Hey, we'll hook him up with a remote.
You say, why is that there? Well, you see, I my bed on a regular basis.
Have you ever been able to, like, watching a...
Yeah,
How's that happen?
I manage it. Can do it.
So you can do it.
He's got problems, this kid.
He just doesn't want to.
You know where we got to send you? The W Hotel in L.A. They got the nicest beds.
That's what's gross about going to a hotel. You got a guy like Eric
Oh,
spooging
my
into
God.
the...
Now you're making me think.
Hello, room service.
Oh, stop. Don't even talk about
Yeah, but what
it.
do you think goes on? There's got to
no.
be a bunch of midgets who go there and rub into the bed.
There's been 2020 episodes. Basically, hotel beds are just jizz sponges.
Oh, why do you say this now? I'll never be able to sleep again.
I sleep on the floor.
These sheets have a high thread count.
If it has a bedspread, just throw that out the window. As soon as you get into a hotel, just discard it.
Oh,
Hey, Eric, if I sent you a Brandy Taylor blow-up doll, would you bang it?
I don't know if they make one.
I think they have a mold of...
I think you can just get that. You don't even need a whole doll.
Do you want that?
I'll have to think about that.
Or maybe you need the breast, too, huh, Eric?
No, that's just... You see, you could jerk off into that mold of the... Done that.
She probably has a mold of her breast, too, if that breast is the big thing about her.
You want me to send you a blow-up doll? Better to jerk off into a blow-up doll than a bed. At least you could rub up against a
Oh, my goodness.
blow-up doll. Would you like one?
I'll get back to you on that.
All right.
Oh.
You see those blow-up dolls?
Hey, no.
Could you
got
fill it
one.
with helium?
You got somewhere you put a wig on it.
Well, I love the ones that have the hair just painted on. That's the best.
Oh, it's beautiful hair. My darling. I'll get him one with real hair.
So lifelike.
They're like big, they're sewn on.
I hardly noticed the seam.
What do you got there?
What do you got there? Oh, here's Richard, your dealer. What do you got?
I got a Dream Date pool float.
What is that?
It's like a thing that you float in a pool. I don't know. Does Eric...
Is it
and
that
the
chick?
girl is on it?
Yeah, it's
Let me
not
see that.
Brandy Taylor.
Take it out of the box.
I don't know. Does Eric have a pool at his apartment?
No, but he could lay that down on his bed.
Can you imagine?
I can't swim.
Oh, there she is. Oh, what are you saying?
It's like a pool floaty thing that you
Yeah,
float
but you
on.
can't do anything to it.
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Kidding.
It does?
Yeah.
Oh, you got it. You want it, Eric? In a wrapper. It's
Brand new.
No, it's fine.
It's like an air mattress with a... You could, like, lay on
and
it.
it's got a hot chick's picture on it.
It's your dream.
It's Monica Sweetheart is the woman that's on it. She's real hot.
No, that's okay.
Why don't we just send it to him?
Yeah,
He doesn't
I
want
think he'll
it.
change his
They
mind
can
when he
just
sees
start
it.
at the same-
No, it's really, she's really hot, I'm telling you.
And slip in one with a dude on it.
What's this doing here?
Oops. I want to see him get rid of that box.
I am. It has a.
It does, right there.
Oh, that's too funny.
Let me see that thing. What does it say? It's got an arrow pointing. Okay.
Oh, that's a riot.
Dream Date pool float. Relaxing in the pool will never be the same with this thrilling beach pool float.
Can you imagine seeing somebody in their pool doing that?
She's on her back and she's all yours, just begging for you to penetrate her tender love hole. Her skin is smooth and dripping wet, and you will be too when you feel her warm, inflatable insides. The best part is no one will know what you're doing when they see you floating on your stomach.
I don't know.
Lower your trunks and give pool play a whole new meaning.
Wow.
She's hot.
They got a big arrow pointing. Sun Bunny is open and waiting for you. She is hot.
Mm-hmm.
You sent Eric, I'm sending this to you, okay?
We could even send Eric one of her movies from the woman that's on the pool float so they could get all excited.
Okay. You want this. You know you want it, right?
Not really.
Yeah, all you have to do, blow it up and put it on your bed.
I'm telling you, she's hot. It's better than a blow-up doll.
Better than a bare mattress.
It's sealed and in the package.
You can blow your load into this thing here.
No one will know what you're doing.
Uh-oh, how does he get it cleaned out?
What if I get her pregnant?
How's he going to blow this up?
Well, you get a pump.
He don't have a pump.
Get the roommate.
Yeah, the roommate will do it.
Well, who's going to clean it?
The garbage man will do it.
Blow it up and lay it on my bed. Here, take this down to the gas station. Have it inflated.
The roommate doesn't want to clean that thing up.
Eric will handle that.
You're on smooth.
Even if he just it once and then throws it away.
Or he could use
imagine that Mission Impossible trying to throw this thing away without being attached to it. His DNA is going to be all over it.
He could use a Ziploc bag, kind of like a woman's condom in it.
Dream Day pool float. First of all, who's got the balls to buy this thing? Like, how do they sell these?
Well, this is what I'm saying. Who's in their backyard pool doing this?
I know, and look at the packaging. I mean, this is an expensive how much does this thing cost?
I would imagine that's probably like
$100 yeah.
I bet it's a big seller.
Yeah, what kind of pool do you have to be in where you could try that?
Kiddie pool.
With some high walls around it.
Yeah.
I'm going to send this to Eric.
Yeah, we'll put that right in the mail for Eric.
Yeah, I don't hear him protesting.
Yeah?
Right here. Yeah. Make sure this goes to Eric.
Oh, thank you.
Too late.
Once you see this thing, Eric, I bet you're going to be into it.
It's
literally. And your face would be right where her are, too.
Yeah.
What's your roommate's first name?
Jan.
Look, I just got pool date, dream date. But get rid of the box. The same dumpster with the...
I got dream date pool float.
Actually, put it where it can be seen. I've got to negate the gay image.
Just give him 3. It'll be like half will be take one after another. I sleep with 3 pool floats.
3 different girls.
I'm currently dating 3 rafts.
Wayne, you're on the air.
Hey, now.
What does it take to maintain a relationship? A pump.
Don't smoke cigarettes around her.
What's up, Wayne?
Hey, now, how funny would it be if Eric kept sending out that, and it kept coming back to him in the mail?
Like a Twilight Zone thing?
Yeah, like a bad just kept coming back in the mail.
Remember, did you ever see Twilight Zone where the guy, the doll, this doll starts talking, so the guy tries to throw it out?
Talking Tina, maybe?
Talking Tina?
Talking Tina, that's right.
What if it was like Eric just somehow keeps ending up back in his house?
Wait, what are you doing here? I burned you.
Yeah. He burned her, he put her head in a vice, he did everything, but Tina was always back.
You know what you got to do? You've got chick. What's that chick's name?
Monica Sweetheart.
But stick it in there.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Foiled again.
Like Bruce Sweetheart.
Close your ears for a second. I got to make a plan.
No.
That'd be pretty cool.
Or maybe we'll get one that, like when you blow it up, a big sticks out of it or something.
A transvestite raft.
You know what you got to do? When you send Eric, don't listen to this, Eric. 20 minutes in, editing.
There you go. We'll make our own.
Wait, I was about to come. There's a boner. Oh, Mayday.
That's not Brandy Taylor.
Yeah, repackage.
That's James Taylor.
Lawrence Taylor.
Justin, you're on the air.
I just want to say, Eric is starting to bore the living me in the morning.
Not me.
Hey, I got like a Walmart bag from where I went to Walmart. I'm going to put it over my head and suffocate myself with this guy. Jesus Christ.
One less loser in the world.
Let's go to Jeff. Jeff, you're on the air.
Yo, hey, now, listen, is there any way you can get, like, this guy's roommate on the phone? You can, like, have a talk with him and say, listen, dude, when the door's closed and, like, my PJ pants are on the door, don't come in?
Yeah, hey, Eric, where is your roommate? If you want me, I'll have that discussion with, what's his name again?
Jan.
Can't barge in.
You're a grown man. Knock.
A grown midget.
What's with the Jan? His name is John. Jan.
You're a not grown man.
What's his name? Jan? Are you there, Eric? Eric hung up.
Did he?
Yeah, he's gone.
He didn't want us to talk to Jan?
Both callers were just dropped. It's weird. Eric, you there?
Nothing makes Eric hang up.
I was going to get Jan on the phone.
Nothing makes him turn down airtime. We hit a nerve.
I think his name is Jan because every time Eric talks, he starts yawning.
Hey, wake up.
Wake up.
Let me tell you about round 3 of American Idol Season 4.
I haven't seen The Sopranos yet, but everyone's telling me High Pitch Eric was on The Sopranos last night.
He was?
His head, like, all you see is that big head.
When?
When they're gambling on horses.
Oh, I got to take another look at that.
And supposedly Eddie the Produce guy's in it. I didn't see him, but he said he was in it, too.
He somehow shows up everywhere.
Wait, I watched it. I missed it, too.
I knew to look for it because I knew
casino?
that.
Don't say anything.
All right.
At the casino, is Eddie the Produce guy, or is that a High Pitch Eric?
I saw High Pitch.
Okay, at the casino.
Yeah.
Oh, well, they told you. I guess you had to look.
You almost have to pause it to see him, but it's funny.
I thought maybe Tony with High Pitch. They have a similar physique.
Oh, yeah.
What happened to Eric? I was just getting his... Is Eric there?
Hello.
See if you can call him back. Because I was in the middle of a very intimate conversation with him.
How big are your balls?
Send him the doll and the... he'll like the doll.
Hey, just for that whole thing with High Pitch Eric on The Sopranos, like, JD just showed it to me, and I rewound it. There's no way to know, Howard.
Right.
I can't imagine anybody...
I totally missed it.
I didn't see it.
You have to freeze frame it, and then, like, you see, like, 9/10 of his head.
Wow.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Hey, it's a job. It's a very important job. Hey, can we play that High Pitch? No? Oh.
What's that?
He said we can.
Okay.
What has High Pitch been up to?
He's getting evicted from his apartment, I guess, or something.
Oh, you're kidding.
He's having some legal difficulty he didn't want to talk about.
Oh, he didn't? He's having a legal problem. And then maybe I can get him on the phone.
What could be his legal problem?
He was trying to get a free lawyer from Scott the engineer.
Oh, from Scott?
Yeah, Scott knows some lawyer that High Pitch ran into, and High Pitch wants...
Hi, Mr. Lawyer.
High Pitch wants essentially the lawyer to maybe take his case pro bono.
Oh.
I'll tell you, that High Pitch Eric, he is really strange. You remember the guy he ripped off, the restaurant guy that he ripped off?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I guess Pharrell is friends with that guy. So he was sitting in a Pharrell show last week, just hanging around, and Eric called in, and he goes, hey, Eric, guess who's here? And Eric is like, the same again, I promise I'm going to pay you back. Like, he ripped that guy off for $600.
Get him on the phone later. I'll talk to him about the lawyer. Eric's back.
In fact, he reminded me, he wrote a bad check for $600 and then collected $600 from the woman who ordered the food. So he did it twice.
Geez.
Eric, what happened? How come you hung up?
Signal dropped.
Oh.
Signal dropped. What does that mean? Signal dropped.
Is he on a cell phone?
Yes, so.
Oh, your cell. Oh, you're on a cell. You don't have a regular phone?
No, we do, but I choose to call on the...
Could you call on your regular phone from now on? Because no wonder you sound so...
Right, we've dropped you a number of times.
And also, he sounds distant.
I thought it was because he couldn't get to the phone.
Maybe that's part of the Eric the Midget sound, though. Like, that cell phone sound.
Right.
No, I choose to call on my cell phone.
See if you can call on the regular phone next time. I'd just like to hear the difference, okay?
I'll try.
It'll be easier for people to hear you. You want me to talk to this cat, Jan, and tell him to give you some privacy?
No, he's asleep.
Wake him up. When he wakes up, call me back, okay? And I'll just tell him, because you're too embarrassed to tell him. You say, listen, Eric needs some private time in his room. If the door's shut, don't walk in. That's the new rule.
But this is the time that Eric should be, since Jan is asleep.
It's true. Why don't you get one of those porns we sing? Oh, are you afraid he'll wake up?
No, they're put away.
Well, you can't get access to them?
No, they're put away.
You mean Jan has to get the for you?
For now, yeah.
Oh, boy.
What do you mean? He puts them in a place you can't reach?
Well, because, this house is also half my parents' house.
Well, why don't you put the room? That way you'd have full access to it whenever you want it. We sent it to you, not Jan.
I know that. It's just in a spot where, only him and I know where it's at.
But why can't you access it?
You couldn't pick a spot that you could get to?
Not really.
It's like pirate booty. It's hidden from his parents. I mean, there's a million hiding spots. Why would you hide your...
Where you can't
reach it.
Yeah.
You gotta. Isn't that embarrassing? You gotta ask that guy, hey, I'm ready to watch.
Yeah, even Jan shouldn't know where you're...
Do you believe this?
He knows your horny schedule.
Like, who wants to be at the mercy of Jan when I want to watch...
Is there nothing sacred?
Eric, this makes no sense.
Oh, well, sorry if it doesn't make sense. It's the way it is.
So you got to go through Jan just to get your...
Now, are you saying your parents go through your stuff?
Well, in my room, yeah.
Wow.
That's wrong. They say a kid should have his own
Kid, he's 30-something.
He's the size of a kid.
Jan, can you get...
Which one do you want, Eric?
Tinker with my stinker.
Like, that's embarrassing that you have to say, I want to see Tinker.
Right.
I just don't like that. I'm being serious, Eric. Would you... Get Jan up. Let me talk to him. I've got time right now. What?
He's asleep.
All right, when he wakes up, have him call me, all right? Call in with him.
Can't guarantee that he'll be up before the show.
All right, if he does, I'm going to straighten this all out for you, all right? Because we're sending you a whole bunch of stuff, and...
Now you can't even get to it.
How are you going to get to your blow-up mattress? We want to make sure we're not wasting our time. There's a $29 value on that air mattress. All right. Thank you, Eric. And have him call in, okay?
I'll see.
I'll straighten it out for you. You'll be forever grateful.
Right.
Jan's probably exhausted because last night he had to walk 3 miles to get rid of that in the middle of the night. He was on a whole mission. All right. And when you get the air mattress, put it in a place where you can access it.
Well, I don't know if that's... How's he going to do that?
I don't know, but he's got to figure...
I mean, for him to use it, it'll have to be blown up all the time.
You know what, Robin? He has all day to figure it out.
He'll figure out a way to that thing.
See, I'm thinking he's going to have to ask Jan for that.
Yeah.
Could you bring me my blow-up mattress?
Bring me my date.
My pool date.
My pool float. I need my pool float,
my
Jan.
pool float, a colada, and some K-Lite.
Someone's going to get it. All right, Eric. Good
Someone's
luck.
going to get...
I'm sending you...
All right.
All right. And have Jan call me when he gets up with you, all right?
All
right. See if you can. I'm going to straighten this out. Thank you. You should have some privacy. Thank you. Right. I mean, really. Honestly, I like Eric, and I don't like that he doesn't have any privacy. Eric the Midget, you're on the air.
Good morning.
What's your miserable story?
Like Scott the engineer went and had Wendy's for dinner.
Oh.
What?
You know, like hamburgers.
Why would you have like
fries?
Like something good like a steak
if you
like
come
a
off
great
a fast, why would you go to Wendy's?
It's like going into a garbage bucket and gorging like a goat.
Did you have Wendy's, I heard? Yeah.
Yes.
Is those...
Today, and now I'm fine. I ordered an omelet for breakfast again, and
You're back on your program.
What? I'm back. Yeah, just the one day it was, I got it out of my system, and now I'm back, and I'm going to the gym again today, and
Was Wendy's satisfying?
And I will.
Did Wendy's do the trick? Did it satisfy you?
Not really.
See, that's the thing. It's not even good.
More disappointing, but the breakfast was good though.
What'd you get at Wendy's?
What did I get?
Triple, double?
No, I just got a regular bacon cheeseburger. That was
and what?
And fries.
And a shake?
No. I always drink water. I always have.
Mm-hmm. All right.
That's no fun without a shake.
I don't drink soda or anything else.
Your intern was saying you were farting all day in your studio.
What?
I was rumbling, but I wasn't farting. I was rumbling.
All right.
So
there he is. Scott the engineer.
Thank you.
Eric the Midget, go ahead.
Good morning.
Good morning.
What can we do for you?
Well, I was calling because last week Lisa did a story about me and did not include an interview with me at all, and she made me come off as being desperate.
Oh?
And I want to know what the that was all about.
Lisa, you want to come in and explain yourself to Eric? You make him sound desperate.
Explain yourself to me.
I don't get the vibe that Eric's desperate.
She's not here yet, Howard. Oh, she's not.
Oh. She's not here yet, Eric.
Call back. No.
I'll put you on hold till she gets in. She can just... What do you mean? She made it sound like you were hard up for chicks?
No, not for that. For a job.
Oh, well,
That's right, yeah.
But you are. I got tape of you begging for a job on the voicemail that you leave.
I was not begging. I was just saying I need a job. I've been living off SSI for about 14 years now. It's time.
Then you should be desperate.
After 14 years, he's desperate.
But, you know, Eric, it is understandable. I mean, you do have multiple handicaps. I know you want a job, but, like, the jobs he wants to go work for the Maloof Brothers as a greeter in Las Vegas. Like you'll come to...
No, here in Sacramento at the arena.
Oh.
At the arena, you want to greet people.
People are coming for a good time. They'll see you sitting there.
That'll cheer them
What
up.
are you going to say?
Well, where I wanted to work.
Hi there, I'm your short, misshapen host.
Here's the tape probably Lisa heard. Hey, Lisa. Lisa's here now. You made Eric sound desperate. He's upset.
Which story?
About him wanting a job. He's not desperate for a job. He just wants to work.
And unlike Shuli, you didn't interview me. Usually when Shuli does a story about me, he interviews me about it.
Well, Eric, not to take anything away from you, but I work on so many stories. I need to hear the story. Do we have it?
Well, I'll play you his tape. Tell me if he sounds desperate. He wasn't desperate. He just wants a job.
Let me hear.
All right.
Hey, this is Eric. After I was calling to see if you guys could please seriously help me get a job. So no pun intended, and use the word serious.
It's hard to understand, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm getting every other word.
All right, forget it then.
Was this the voicemail he left on Jackie's? Remember we did a story about he called...
It's a voicemail he left for somebody.
Yeah, I tried calling the serious tip line, and I accidentally hit the wrong button.
Are you sure I didn't do a headline on you? You're thinking of an entire 1-minute story?
Well, you announced on the show.
Or are you talking about the headlines in here? Okay.
Yeah.
That makes more sense.
Yeah.
All right, so Eric wants to make it clear that he's not desperate for a job. He would like a job. Okay? Does that satisfy you?
Yeah, it does.
All right.
Are you reaching out to others? Have you talked to somebody else about a job?
I tried talking to a contact that I have at WWE Films.
Oh, what do you want to do for them?
Well, helping with promotions or whatever.
Huh. Well, I'm going to keep... we have a little job board. I'm going to see if...
Why doesn't he go to... I mean, you must belong to some organizations or you're followed by somebody.
Yeah.
Why aren't you asking them to help you find a job?
Well, I haven't gotten back into the LPA yet, but I will.
Little People's Association.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to keep my eyes open, okay, and ears open.
Surely they must have a bulletin board full of jobs.
All right, Eric?
Okay, thank you. No, not lately.
All right. Eric the Midget, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Good morning.
Morning. Did you watch American Idol?
Yeah.
Who do you feel was the best contestant?
Well, definitely not Blake. I think it'll probably be him going home tonight.
No, I think Letitia will be going home.
Really?
Well,
yes, I do.
Based on performance?
Yes.
That was kind of my second thought.
All right.
I'm dying to hear your third thought.
Except we don't have an hour. Eric, what can I do for you?
Well, I was also calling to see if you guys had gotten contacted by anybody because of, me talking about wanting a job yesterday.
Gary, did anyone contact us?
Was there a flood of calls?
Or even one where someone wants to employ Eric the Midget as perhaps a greeter of some kind, or...
Would you work at Walmart?
I don't know.
Oh.
Ed,
yes.
The answer is not a one.
That's sad.
There were actually, that's not true, guy. There were a bunch of calls interested in hiring you, but they all ended with this. Not.
Well, I hope, Eric, someone does call, honestly. I would like to see you working.
Yeah, but why not set his sights a little lower, like at a Walmart or something, not an arena or...
Well, he's suggesting ideas.
One of the Maloof hotels.
Well, if you're going to suggest ideas, you want to suggest Walmart or a Maloof hotel. You know what I mean?
And by the way, to Mark Freakins, the name Maloof is M-A-L-O-O-F. Not the way you spelled it yesterday on your site, Mark.
All right. Good.
Hey, Eric?
Yeah?
Have you been contacted by... we got an email last week. A guy who runs this thing called the Exotic Erotic Ball has been contacting Eric to appear, and Eric refuses.
Why?
Because I don't want to work with a cokehead.
A cokehead?
You can't say that.
He's not a cokehead.
No.
He exhibited clear signs of it when I met him at comedy.
No.
What are the clear signs of a cokehead?
I don't know the gentleman, but you can't make accusations like that. I mean, you wouldn't know. I sat right next to Artie. I didn't know he was a cokehead.
What did you see,
well, it's
Eric?
heroin. It's different.
He kept asking me the same question over and over again every time he would...
It doesn't make the guy a cokehead.
Did you answer his question?
Yeah, I answered it.
What was the question?
That I wasn't interested.
What was the question that he asked you over and over again?
If I would do the, erotic, exotic
Well,
ball.
he's trying to convince you to do it. It doesn't mean he's a cokehead. You don't have to disparage the man.
Boy, you persistent. You have no offers, and one offer that you get, you immediately, discount the guy.
Man is a hard-working guy putting together a big event.
What did he want you to do?
To be like the Grand Marshal of...
Oh, my God.
Event.
Well, that's exactly what you're looking for. You want to be a greeter. Here's an event. Okay, granted, it's not the Maloof brothers. But the gentleman is being persuasive, yes.
He sent me an email. He said, in every case, the little f***er has turned down opportunities that since October 2006 could have paid him over $8,000 in cash.
Wow.
And VIP tickets for him and his friends. He just said, I want him to be the Grand Marshal of the Exotic Erotic Ball. And
you're disparaging the guy. I mean, for Christ's sake. I mean, here's a guy offering you work. He's a hard-working businessman. He's able to put together $8,000. He's no cokehead.
When I talked to other people about this guy, they said the same thing. That they said that he sounded like he showed clear signs.
Oh, stop
Who
it.
are you talking to?
Stop talking to everybody.
Law enforcement agent?
And what
Johnny,
if he,
for one.
Oh, Johnny doesn't know. Johnny.
You know, Howard, I know this guy. He's actually a friend of mine. He's a good guy, like a regular guy. I don't know what the hell Eric's talking about.
Because Eric really doesn't want to work. Here's a job where he's going to get to be a greeter and the Grand Marshal. I hear the words $8,000. That brings a lot of money. I mean, we have guys for $5,000.
Well, I heard that when Eric, I don't know if this is true, but I heard when Eric first started talking to them, Eric demanded that he gets $25. He was like, I want $25. And the guy was like, well, I'll pay you a hell of a lot more than that. Like, so the guy's trying to help Eric out and give him more money.
I never said any price to him. Said that's right there. Kind of something.
Well, if the Maloof brothers are listening, whatever.
Would you take $5,000 sales balls? Because I could totally raise that.
No.
You wouldn't even have to get out of your chair, Eric.
Would not do that.
If Eric ever did get a job at a Maloof hotel, here's what it would sound like.
Hello, and welcome to Maloof Hotel, sir. May I help you?
Yes, I'll need my bags checked, please.
Yes, we'll get those right away.
Midget! Get in here!
What is it now?
Take this man's bags, Midget, and make it snappy.
My power chair is jammed. Can't get this thing going.
Tie that luggage to the back of your chair and hurry up.
What did I get myself into?
Front desk, how can I help you?
Yeah, hi, I need some bath towels right away, please.
We'll have them up in a second.
Midget! Drop those bags and grab some towels!
I can't reach the towels in the linen closet.
Grab your stick and knock the towels off the shelf. Hurry up!
I gotta use this stick and get that towel down. Oh no! Not the paint can!
You incompetent little bastard!
I want out of this business partnership.
What do you think of that, Eric?
I don't like that. It's not how it would sound.
It's an idea of what it might sound like. Well, if I was you, I would look into that job. If the offer's still on the table, even though you disparaged your boss, I would have to say that, you have no evidence of what you accuse this man of, and he's giving you a legitimate business offer. And you know what?
What difference would that make anyway, as long as he pays the bills?
And quite frankly, it sounds like a fun gig to be around all that eroticism.
Sure.
All right. Thank you, Eric. I didn't know he had a job offer.
All right. Bye.
Bye for now. That's all I can say. What is that?
He's already gotten a call. Are there any calls? Yeah, the one you turned down.
And like Robin said, he's already watching it every week anyway. And I know he does enjoy that. He's always said, I want to be a game show host or I want to be a judge because I'm that good. So on the one hand, it's validation. On the other hand, there's a lot of people that think that Howard's above that show, that show's a crappy little show compared to what his talent brings. So I would say do whatever makes you happy.
Howard's moved into a place in both his life and his career where he enjoys things outside of radio. He used to have this crazy obsession with the show. Now it seems like he's equally as dedicated, but he does less. He does less days per week.
Right.
And he enjoys other things in life. He can relax. He can sit around his apartment. He can play chess and read. Would this be biting off more than he really wants to chew right now?
I wonder that. I wonder if he seems to be in a place where he likes being out at his house out east. He likes hanging out with Beth. He likes having the time off. He worked his whole life to get to a point where he could negotiate this time off. And now he's got it, and he's going to go work again. But if it, maybe something that he just enjoys. By the way, it may all be bullshit. By the way,
what's your opinion?
It's so hard to tell. It's just so hard to tell with him. It could, there's a part of me that says maybe his name did come up, and all this press is going on. And if it did, and say his name came up, and say Howard's not interested, but all this press is being generated, why would he come in here today and say, I'm absolutely not doing that, when there could be a whole week of people speculating about him? He loves that. So why would he squash that? Just like it was with American Idol.
Good morning, Mr. Michael.
Been 10 years.
A long time.
I got ranked one of the best interviewees of the 90s, and then I had to take a decade off. So it's time to reconnect. And I want to move to the top of the list.
Right this way, sir.
This way. Forget where we are. Where's Robin? Robin used to greet me out of the hall.
She's in the studio.
I know, but she used to come out into the hall.
Right in the studio.
There's some fun.
So, Mr. Michaels, you've been a part of some legendary prank calls that the show has thrust upon the media.
I have.
But yet, you come back for more. You love this show.
Number one in all media, as far as I'm concerned. Number one. Has been forever. Fantastic.
Well, it's great to have you here. I know you were probably up late last night.
I was up late. In fact, I just left the parking lot, so... Only Howard could get me to leave the Meadowlands parking lot and come straight to the studio. But I'm ready for action.
All right, a little coffee, a little Howard. Get you going.
A little coffee and a little Howard. It's perfect.
Great to see you again.
Good to be with you again. Looking forward to it. I'm going to become a regular again.
All right, we'll see you in the studio.
I think we need Howard to come out to the West Coast once in a while.
I agree.
It's like, Howard just needs to get out there, to get out in the hinterlands, to see what the rest of America is like, to spread his joy, to spread his knowledge of all things worldly. And I think that's a pretty good idea. And you guys wouldn't mind that either, right?
I would love a trip out there.
Yeah, I think it would be pretty good.
We're becoming East Coast recluses over here. So.
Of course you can. That way, and the time you walk out of every restaurant in Los Angeles and TMZ is there. It's not like New York, where nobody's here. Nobody pays attention to anything you do. Come out where it's happening, Hollywood.
All right, I hope you convince him today.
I'm trying to. Believe me, give me about 2-3 hours and away we go.
All right, we'll see you in the studio.
You bet.
Hey now, everybody. Al Michaels stopped by to see us. We haven't seen him in like 100 years. When's the last time we saw Al Michaels, the famous sportscaster?
I think it was... I guess we've seen him since the O.J. thing.
Yeah.
Hey there!
Oh, now you show up. Where the hell have you been? Wait, we can't hear you. Hold on. No one can hear you. You're a broadcaster. You should know that.
Gotta have a mic.
How are you?
I'm fantastic. You guys.
I thought you abandoned us.
I did. You know, I just needed... I was ranked one of the top interviewees of the 90s.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then, you know, what do you do for an encore? So I needed a decade off.
Did you feel...
Now I'm back. I'm back.
Did you honestly feel, and I know this feeling... Sometimes when you come on a show and you're such a terrific guest and you really, you know, you were great and all that, do you start to feel like, hey, you know what? I should stop now because what if I go on and I'm a shitty guest?
If I lived in New York, I'd probably be here like every week. Right. But I'm out on the West Coast. And by the way, you should start doing like 5-6 weeks a year on the West Coast. We need you out there. That's where it's happening right now. You love coming out there. I heard you talking about Brad
I do
Gray's
love it.
wedding. You have a lot of friends out there right now. You've gotten to know a great friend of mine, Don Rickles.
Yes.
Now, my wife and I have a lot of dinners with the Rickles, and about 4 or 5 years ago, he's telling me he had never met you.
Right.
And he was sure that you hated him.
Oh, my God.
And I said, Don, are you out of your mind? Howard would love you.
I worship Don Rickles.
I know you do.
And in fact, when I had him on the show, I think he was like convinced that it was going to be a disaster because I wouldn't be respectful and
Exactly.
Don Rickles is like God to me. I watched this guy on TV my entire childhood growing up. He was everything I emulate when I go on a talk show.
Howard, the man, how many guys have had a 60-year career?
Beside me, no one.
Right.
That's right.
He was worried about you. He was worried about Dennis Miller, who I know very well because I worked Monday Night Football with him.
Why would he worry about Dennis Miller?
He thought Dennis had the kind of humor that, you know, would not, that Dennis wouldn't appreciate Don for what he is. Because Don, you know, has his shtick. And the other guy...
Isn't it funny how Don Rickles doesn't understand how admired he is?
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Is that the curse of comedians? They just don't realize how loved they are?
Well, but he's a very secure man, but you're not sure if somebody, if you don't know somebody, the other guy was Jimmy Kimmel. So he's telling me about 3 guys I know, you, and I know Jimmy, and of course I work with Dennis, and I'm saying... Don, you're out of your mind. Now he's been with all of you guys. I said those guys more than any others would appreciate what you've done.
If someone would have told me when I was a kid that one day I'd interview Don Rickles or go to a party at Jimmy's house with Don Rickles and sit there and talk to him, I would have died and gone to heaven. That's how important he was to me. And yet he had this whole impression of me. And I've told him a million times how much I appreciate him. I think he finally now believes it.
You think he gets it?
Yeah. Oh, no, he does. No, we have dinner with him about every 2 months.
So he's talked to you about having met Howard.
It's all he talks about now.
When you have dinner with Don Rickles, though, do you seem pretty secure about your whole life? But do you ever say to yourself, "Gee, why does this guy want to have dinner with me?" And do you get insecure that way?
I met Don Rickles a number of years ago at a party, and he's a gigantic sports fan.
Right.
So I think it's a case of mistaken identity. He comes across the room, and he goes, "Oh, my God, I always wanted to meet you." And I'm going, he doesn't know who this is. He thinks it's somebody else. So Don says to me, he said, "Hey, the next time you're out in Los Angeles, can we have dinner?" I said, "Don, I live here." I said, "I'd like to have dinner with you like every other night." I said, "Where do you live?" He goes, "I live in Spain. I just came in for the party." And away we went.
Right. And you become good friends. Do you go to his home?
We've been to his home. He has a home in Malibu and one in the city. But mainly we go to Mr. Chow's.
Right. And you hang out.
It's fantastic. It's just, and he's adored by everybody. And what you see with Don Rickles, I mean, Don Rickles is 85 years old.
Mm-hmm.
We went to his 80th birthday party 5 years ago. And you'll see like a bunch of people, young people from Silicon Valley will come down for a seminar or a conference, and they're all gathered there, and he's sure nobody knows him, and he walks out of the restaurant, and they're screaming. And then he'll stop by the table, and he'll do the Don Rickles thing, universally loved.
At Brad Gray's wedding, he got up and started roasting them.
Really?
He called Brad a midget, and I mean, it was wild. Right. It was great. All of a sudden, he's into it.
No, there's nobody like him.
No sharper mind than that, right?
I told him, I said, how great is it to go through life and you've never been one-upped? I said, when did anybody ever one-up you?
Right.
And he couldn't think of it. I mean, he's going to have the last word on you no matter what you say.
Super brain, man. What an intelligent guy.
And you wouldn't think a guy
Super brain, man. What an intelligent guy.
And wouldn't think a guy who, did what he did to Sinatra would have any insecurities at all. Remember, he had this girlfriend he wanted to impress her. He told Sinatra to come over
Talk
to
about
the table.
Talk about some of the big sports stories for a second. Then I want to ask where the hell you've been. The first Paterno.
Day.
Right.
Which is a bigger story, right? Now in the history of sports, is it Tiger Woods or Joe Paterno and Penn State?
Well, you've got the two of them. I never thought I'd seen a meltdown like the Tiger Woods meltdown. On an individual level, yeah.
Can Tiger Woods come back?
Can he come back? He'll come back. He played pretty well over the weekend in Australia.
Right.
But, the question became a few years ago, would he ever win enough majors to surpass Jack Nicklaus? I would doubt. In my mind, if he wins one more major, I'll be surprised. I think he'll play well. I play.
What happened?
I play a lot of golf.
Right.
And the one thing about golf,
mental,
unbelievably mental. I don't want to say 90% or whatever, but if your brain is not there, and I mean, if you're a guy like Tiger Woods and you're walking around a golf course and you are the king, not the king of all media,
but the king of the golf course,
but the king of the golf course,
right.
And there's a certain feeling, and he was very comfortable with that feeling. He'd walk around, and now all of a sudden, this is a guy who has to walk out on the course for 4 hours, and behind his back, people are going, hey, I wonder who he's looking for, and that sort of thing. So that has to play on your mind.
His old man, his father, was maybe the only guy in the world who could probably smack him out of this and say, listen, you go out there and you win, but the father's gone. I mean, he's like rudderless. Is that correct?
At this point, I don't know. He's a guy, he's built a wall around himself. Knew him a little bit. I did a couple of his events. We had made-for-TV events when I was at ABC that we did with Tiger. But he's built that wall around him. Look, he did something. He got away with it for a long time. And then when that roof caved in, I mean,
did you have
bang.
Were you aware of that at all?
No, Robin, you look great, by the way. You look so great. Howard, you look great, too.
I look terrific.
You look
You're right.
I listened to the whole Chris Martin interview the other day.
Yeah,
he's right. You look the best I've ever seen you,
Let me
far.
tell you something.
And Robin, I've always loved you. And
well,
you know
thank
that.
you.
Yeah.
And you look
marvelous.
yeah,
But
we all
I don't
look
know
great.
how you could be covering Tiger Woods and now not an inkling of what he was
Because
up
he's
to.
not privy to that.
Yeah,
he goes to some charity events.
I'm not going to a club with him at 2:30 in the morning. Look, I just got out of the parking lot at the Meadowlands after the Jets game last night and came straight over here.
And plus,
That's
Al's like a real married
He's
guy.
not hanging out.
You don't get any side pussy whatsoever, right, Al?
Not at all.
Not
I just want to hear you say side pussy.
I get none of that. I get no side anything these days.
Right.
Not even side meat.
In a way, that is the one sadness in your life, that you never really acted out sexually with a lot of these women. And you could have women. You make a
Traveling
lot of money.
on the road.
Handsome guy.
My wife's the best of all time.
Well,
we talked about that. I met her in the 10th grade.
Right. 10th grade.
In the 10th grade.
And I forget, you've never had another woman beside your wife?
That's it.
Are you serious?
That's it.
Why is this a smirk on your face as you
I'm
say
not
that?
smirking.
You're thinking about the other women you fucked, aren't you?
No, but I'm just,
You're telling me you met your wife in the 10th grade.
10th grade.
Had you had girls before that?
No.
And, well, Robin, before we got married, yeah,
Oh, you did have women before you got married.
Yeah.
You met your wife in the 10th grade.
Correct.
You had innocent love.
We were friends, and then all of a sudden we had a big kiss when we were about 19.
Oh, okay.
And and that changed the whole dynamic. We went from being friends to, whoa, what happened? What happened? It happened in,
So
one
you haven't had
moment.
a different woman since you're 19?
That's it.
And now you're a man and you're, I don't know how old you are now. Do you give your
24.
age? Okay.
I just had a birthday. Howard, at this point, you just stop doing this. You're decades.
You don't give your age?
Not really.
Is that because you want to seem like a young sportscaster?
I want to sign a new deal,
Right.
I don't want people to look. And it's in the freaking paper every time I have a birthday, which was like last weekend.
See, you're being straight with me. If I hooked you up to a lie detector right now, which I'm prepared to do,
right,
you would pass the test that since you're 19 years old, you've had no other women.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you gave me the sodium pentothal,
right,
the whole thing,
wow,
I should be able to pass it, I think. But you know what? But those things...
That isn't a tragedy in your life?
No!
What's the closest you ever came to cheating? Was there a woman that tempted you? You've probably met some great women in the broadcasting industry.
When Robin greeted me the first time I walked in.
Stop it.
I'm serious, Robin. You are the best. You are just the greatest.
Really? You've never been tempted? Like you didn't work along Diane Sawyer at some point?
I worked with Diane Sawyer at
you
one
didn't
point.
say, there's a sexy woman
Well, yeah,
there.
but you're always looking and saying, wow, isn't that something? Yeah, I mean, I do have eyes.
It's remarkable.
I mean, I had LASIK, but I still can see pretty well.
Did you have LASIK?
I did. Well, I'm not crazy about it.
When did you do it?
I did it 10 years ago.
I'm afraid to do it. I don't want to mess with my eyes.
know, we're the guinea pig generation, and I had it because I had to wear contact. I wore hard contacts for a long time,
and they're horrible.
And then the dust would blow, and I was playing a lot of golf, and so I had the LASIK done. But now it's kind of like I don't know what it is. Now I'm back to wearing glasses again. Like,
why is LASIK not good for you? In other words, you had it done. You were nearsighted.
Yeah.
All right. They did the correction, but what happened? Then you had difficulty reading.
Well, yeah. They tell you that was fine, but then I could see at a distance. But then all of a sudden it began to diminish. And again, this was 10 years ago. So if we come back in 100 years, I'm sure they'll have the whole thing down to a science. But
did they recommend to you that you do it again?
Well, it's interesting because I've been to a couple of guys who say, yeah, let's tweak it, and others who say no. So at this point, it's like, I'll put the glasses on again. I mean, this is crazy stuff.
And the glasses you're uptight about because of you have vanity. You want to look handsome on TV.
Well, yeah, I just feel the glasses are a pain in the neck. I lose them. They fall, like I keep them on my shirt right now. I'm liable to they'll be gone by the time I'm on the street. By the way, you look much better in glasses, and
Well, listen, let's say I was a judge on America's Got Talent. Now all of a sudden I'm on network television, which I shouldn't be.
No,
don't take it if they offer it.
Listen, I listened to the show earlier today.
Yeah,
that's not you, Howard. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Okay? Advise me.
But here's the deal. Here's what I think. If you want to branch out and do something else.
I'm not looking to do anything.
I know. You're already the king of all media.
Right,
so, I mean,
right.
why do you want to do this?
I
you
like staring at the wall.
I understand.
Right.
But what if you came to Sunday Night Football for a year?
Oh, my God. He doesn't even know football.
That's what I'm
What's
saying.
the difference?
But
I don't know anything else either.
We had Dennis Miller on.
He didn't know anything?
For 2 years.
That was a disaster.
Dennis knew football, but I mean, Dennis brought a different dynamic. So I see Chris Collinsworth, me, and Howard, and then Michelle Tafoya and Robin do the sideline.
See, but you're joking around now.
You know what? But Howard, when you think about it, this is what we did with Dennis in 2000. We felt that the show needed some sort of juice,
comedy,
a different feel.
Right.
So that's why we brought Dennis in. So I'm joking around partially, but then again, if you were to come to Sunday Night Football, do you realize, now you talk about
First of all, if I did Sunday Night Football, I would be serious about it. Number one, I would become I watched football the other day. I watched the Penn State game. I don't know why exactly I was sucked in, but I wanted to watch those morons who were standing there in the stands. They got, we miss you, Joe Pa. Oh, Joe Pa. I don't know how you feel about this. I'll tell you how I feel. And I would say this on your broadcast. This guy's a creep. I don't care if this is a jock mentality. They're no different than these priests who protect each other. These football guys with the jock mentality, this kid with the red hair, if I saw a guy fucking a 10-year-old, I'd walk in and punch his teeth out. I wouldn't even ask a question.
Would it ever occur to you to go home and talk to your father?
No, but he went home and talked to his father. This kid must be the biggest moron on the planet. But he's a big dumb jock. Then his father doesn't know what to do. The two idiots. And he tells him, go talk to Joe Pa. And Joe Pa's a bigger moron. I don't care if he can coach football, you big dope. He goes to the university. Now, one of these guys did a thing. And I don't know who these students are running around worrying about Joe Pa. Joe Pa's senile. That's what I figured out. This guy's senile, and no one wants to admit it. They already had him coaching, from the stands. I could do that. He's senile. Where do you stand on this?
This is phenomenal.
This is what you want.
This is what
Sunday
you want.
Night Football.
Come on, let's go right now. Let's go do that dumb broadcast.
And then we'd go to a commercial and we'd go home. I'd sign off. I'd do the credits. Howard, that was fantastic.
It's the truth. Is Joe Pa senile? Of course.
Well, beyond that.
Right.
They have.
By the way, can we do all the games in New York? I don't want to leave here.
We have to do one in California.
I don't want to do that. But go ahead. Talk to me about Penn State.
All right. Well, here's the thing. What shocks me is, and everybody's on top of what the coach did and what he didn't do, et cetera, et cetera. They were investigating this thing in the 90s.
Yeah.
What happened?
What happened?
Did this fall through the cracks? What about the DA's office? What about the campus police? What the hell's going on there?
And by the way,
so many people knew about this. How the hell did this stay under wraps?
But let me ask you something.
Many years?
Who's on the broadcast with you on your
Chris
football?
Collinsworth.
Right. If Chris Collinsworth is in the shower with a 10-year-old, you walk by and you see him, he's putting his penis in a 10-year-old boy's ass. What do you do? Seriously, what would you do?
That's when I'd be glad that my LASIK doesn't work.
You say, I must be seeing things.
I see. I don't know.
But I would go and I would take the guy, I would choke him out and pull him off the kid.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you do that? That's where this whole thing falls apart for me.
Yeah. Well, look, we would do that because we are at a certain point in our lives. Maybe the young assistant coach is all of a sudden he's working for the iconic figure in Paterno.
Right.
Let's say he goes to somebody and somebody says, "Oh, you're full of it," and then the next thing you know, that guy gets fired because somebody says he's making stuff up. Now I'm with you on this stuff.
Right.
Yeah. I would
like to think that I would step in.
You'd like to think you'd handle it yourself.
That's
Exactly
right.
Well, I mean, if you actually stepped in and stopped it, there'd be evidence right there.
Al Michaels would step in and stop it. I know.
Naked people.
No. I know the kind of man
in a
he is.
shower room that they don't belong in.
I read the greatest sentence in the New York Post.
What was that?
It was like buried deep in his story. I didn't know this guy Sandusky.
Right.
His view out his window is what?
It's a school.
A schoolyard.
Oh,
and a playground.
He lives across from a playground.
Right.
That's like beachfront for him.
You can't make this stuff up, can you?
No, you can't. That's like beachfront property.
Yeah.
That is so...
Could you show me a home that has a view of a playground? You know, anybody who can afford not to live with a view of the playground, is up to something weird because you don't do that. All right, talk to me. So what is the bigger story? Paterno and Penn State? Or Tiger Woods,
well,
I think.
Of the moment, it's Paterno and Penn State.
In history, which one will we remember?
Well, I think that the Penn State thing could explode into something that involves not only just institutions, but corporations. I mean, this is, I don't want to say the tip of the iceberg. I don't know. But now that this is out, I mean, Howard, you and I know stuff like this.
Why do they cover up?
Goes on a lot of places.
Why don't they learn their lesson from Richard Nixon? No one studies history.
Well,
don't cover
or the
up.
Catholic Church. You're sitting there
but
watching
it's
that.
human nature to think you can get away with something.
Right.
It's like Captain Jenks calling in on the OJ call, right?
Right.
He thought he could get away with it, but he had to get exposed.
Someone
by
exposed
me.
him. That's right. Lest anyone think that was OJ. It was not. All right. So OJ was actually maybe up there with one of the big stories in sports history, right?
Of course.
Bigger than Penn State, maybe even. He killed his wife.
A huge downfall.
Well, remember, now we have a tendency, whatever happens in the moment, we say is the biggest thing in history.
Right.
So that's the murder of the century. Was it?
Right.
I guess. I mean, it was. Look, we're at a time, too. I mean, they didn't have the media exist in the, first part of the century. So we don't, something happened in 1930. It's not like it's 1990 or 2011, where it's just wall to wall. It's blanket coverage. That's part of the difference.
Here's another guy. To comment on this maniac, Hank Williams Jr. This guy's got the greatest gig in the world. That dumb song, Let's Get Ready for the Football.
Are you ready? Right.
Whatever it is.
Are you ready for some football?
Are you ready for what do I know?
Right.
Are you ready? I'm watching Dancing with the Stars. Let's get ready for some football. Yeah. All he's got to do is walk around, and that song makes some money, ka-ching. Yeah. But he's got to open his mouth. And what was the dopey statement he said?
He was the one who went on and said something about the president, wasn't
he? Right.
Right.
But you know what it is, too? It's kind of like, it's like me sitting here with you. I feel so comfortable. I've got my friends here. And I'll say almost anything right now. And I could end my career by the time I walk out, onto the street. It could be, because you make it's so, I'm just sitting here. I said, this is a wonderful, this is phenomenal.
It's a lot of fun.
And I'm with my friends, and I can open up, and you don't realize on the other side of the microphone, you're going to end your career.
Well, in a way, look at this Brett Ratner. Now, look.
Right.
The guy, I was watching a news report, and they were talking about he did himself in. He went on the Howard Stern show, and he talked about sex with women. And so they took him off he had made this other comment about fags, but they let him go on that one. But when the guy who runs the Academy Awards said, when I heard him on Stern, that was it.
Well, he'd already been told one more incident, and you're out of here.
That's right. So what did the guy really say? I'm listening back to it, and he says, gee, I have sex with a lot of women. And when I do, I make them go to a doctor and get them checked out first before I have sex with them. And this is the clip they played to show what a heathen he is. Now, I don't know. In some bizarre way, I might even think that's responsible, worrying about disease and health issues, and that he has these women. This is a guy being honest. I don't think he should have been thrown off the Academy Awards. Do you?
Well, I think it was the gay slur that did it more than anything else. I mean, from what I read, Tom Sherrick, who runs that academy.
Right.
And, the thing is, look, in Hollywood, like in New York, all of a sudden you get pressure, somebody calls, you get emails. I mean,
they caved in.
In the old days, I remember, announcers get mail. And somebody used to call up and go, Wow, we've got a barrage of letters. What's a barrage? 1.
Right.
What's a deluge? 2.
Right.
So some idiot sends an email, and the next thing you know, everybody's scrambling around. Oh, this is a terrible story.
You're right.
Something has to be done. Guys write columns about it. The next thing you know, Ratner's out.
That used to be my story. When I was at K-Rock and things, they would say, they were barraged with complaint calls. It would be 7 calls or something.
Right.
It was never a deluge.
And they were all from Karmazin, too. So I mean,
that's right.
Right.
Yeah, lately.
Can I mention that name on here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Just do whatever you want. Listen, have fun.
Right.
That's right.
By the way, do you know they just cleared CBS and that whole Janet Jackson thing? They don't have to pay the $500,000 fine.
How is it their fault?
Right.
I mean, that's ridiculous.
But it took this long.
It's insane, the FCC. Well, I'm with you on that stuff, remember?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Your career is something else, because this is the way it's been explained to me. At one point in your career, early on, we're talking 100 years ago.
Right.
You're starting out as a broadcaster. How did you get into broadcasting anyway?
Well, I loved it as a kid. I grew up in Brooklyn, went to Ebbets Field, said this is what I want to do, and away
Were
I
you
went.
an athlete?
Yeah, but who did you see broadcasting?
I played just through high school. Red Barber and Vince Scully, who's still doing the Dodgers right now.
So that was who inspired you.
They absolutely.
And you were very well thought out about your career. None of this happens by accident. That you were originally going to sign with NBC. And then you said to them, no, you got an offer from ESPN. Do I have this right?
Well, here's what happened. I was at ABC for 30 years. And then the last 20 of which I did Monday Night Football on ABC. And then Monday Night Football went over to cable, which tells you all you need to know about, why could cable afford something that network television can't? Because of the sub fees. So ESPN winds up spending a ton more than ABC could. So now it's going to be Monday Night Football, and I'm going to go over there, but there was a guy who was kind of arranging the template at Monday night, and he did something like fire John Madden, who was my partner, the most iconic analyst ever.
Great guy.
The producer, the director, I'm going, what the hell is going on over here? And I'm the one guy left. So we had a lame duck year in 2005, and I agreed to stay because I couldn't make a deal with NBC. And then after the 2005 season, I said, this is not going to work. I'm over here when I should be back. I should be at NBC with my guys.
Right.
Now, what should have happened is all of my guys should have stayed on Monday night.
Right.
But that's, that's internal politics and all that nonsense.
So let me understand this. When ESPN got the rights to Monday Night Football
in 2006,
originally they hire you and they didn't hire Madden.
Correct.
Why would they do that? Why would they make a monumental mistake like that?
Why did they do that? They did that because a guy who was in charge of it decided he was going to go a whole different way. And, Madden was probably too old and the producer was not controllable.
You have something that works and you take it and you destroy it.
Howard, somebody always has to put their imprimatur on a show.
They put their stamp on the show.
Correct.
Because they are the program director. They want to make it theirs.
I'm the boss. I'm the big guy. All
it
that
is the
crap.
biggest, dumbest mistake anyone can make.
Aloha.
When you got something that works, you sit there with it and you milk it to the end.
Of course.
So you go over there. You think they're all coming with you. You sign your deal.
Right. No, I didn't think they were coming with me, but I couldn't make the deal at NBC.
Why couldn't you make the deal at NBC?
Basically, because they weren't offering
I heard they
me...
offered you $3 million to go to NBC, and they were going to give you an additional $2 million to do basketball.
Wait a minute. Where are you coming up with this stuff?
I know what I'm talking because I know everything about show business. I'm the king of all media.
You are the king of all media.
When you were leaving
Monday
Monday
night... You're not the king
night,
of all accountants.
When you were leaving ABC...
Yeah.
Al Michaels was leaving ABC. You were going to sign with ESPN. NBC offered you $3 million, and you turned it down.
No, those aren't the correct figures, but here's the deal. Remember, ABC and ESPN are under the same umbrella. It's Disney, so I'm moving internally. I'm staying under the Disney umbrella.
Right.
But all my guys are now going to NBC. So NBC is talking to me, but we can't make a deal at that point.
But you signed a long-term contract with ESPN. How did you get out of that contract and go to NBC? How did you break it?
We had one lame duck year, 2005.
Right.
I was still working with Madden. Then as everybody's leaving, I went to the person I had to go to and say, hey, look, I think it's better for everybody if you let me out. I said, I know it's going to be awkward and blah, 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 but... It's a better deal for me. I really would appreciate the fact I could go back and work with my people. I know what you want to do over here.
Why didn't they say to you, screw you, Al Michaels, we signed you?
They could have.
That's right. Why did they go along with that?
That's a very good question, Howard, because I think they felt that maybe it was the way to go. Because if they were going to get rid of all of the people I was working with, why were they keeping me at that point, too? And meanwhile, I got to tell you something. The guy that blew the show up, He didn't want me in the first place. He was told, you're going to keep Michaels.
Oh.
Amazing.
Right. Oh, yeah. Isn't it amazing? It's incredible.
That is incredible.
Yeah. I mean, it's just...
So you were lucky you got out of ESPN and you were able to go to NBC. And didn't NBC have to give over a bunch of rights to things in order to get you?
Yes, they did. Ryder Cup rights and all that stuff. And then there was a cartoon character that became part of the deal. And
so you are valuable.
We threw that in at the end to, kind of throw the press off.
Does that make you feel like a man who died and went to heaven, that these companies would sit and give away rights to things just to get you to be part of a broadcast?
No, because I always felt, going back to when it all happened, we all should have stayed together on Monday night.
Right.
It's ridiculous. That was insane. And that, and that show they've had a lot of different moving parts through the years. Instead of taking us lock, stock, and barrel, it was like the number 3 show on television Monday night when we were at ABC.
Absolutely.
So what are you doing?
Well,
I mean, if somebody comes in here and says, hey, Robin, you're out. Baba Booey, you're going back to the Hartford. What are you going to do?
Listen, I know what I'm doing.
What are you doing?
My head's going to explode. That's what I'm doing.
Of course it is.
That's right. It's enough with all of that. That's right. You're absolutely right. You got a Hollywood star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 2004. Isn't it true you have to pay for that?
Well,
blow the lid off this.
No, what happens is that when they want to give you a star, then they go to the company you work for. They went to Sirius and said, hey, we want to put Howard Stern here.
Oh, they'd be thrilled.
It's kind of like, right, they'd be thrilled. It's almost like a charity where they say, hey, look, we need a contribution, blah, 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 blah. So it's not as if you can walk in and say, hey, look, I want to pay for my star.
So was there a ceremony when you got your star?
There was, yeah.
Did you who came to your ceremony?
Just a lot of my friends, and I don't, I have a lot of friends in the business.
Right.
But, Alex Swallow, who's been in here before, a great friend of Chris Martin, by the way, you know Alex.
Right.
Of course.
He was there, and I had him talk.
Alex Walu is a great friend of Chris Martin's?
Absolutely.
Who knew that?
Well, Alex,
Alex he hangs out with Gwyneth Paltrow and Chris Martin?
Here's the deal. So, by the way, the Chris Martin interview was fantastic.
Thank you.
I was driving to Palm Desert, and I was in the garage for half an hour, and I couldn't get out of the car just to hear the end of it.
We got a lot of nice emails.
I used to play a lot of golf with Gwyneth's father, Bruce Paltrow, who was a very successful director.
Right.
And then Bruce contracted cancer.
Right.
And then died. He and Gwyneth were celebrating her birthday or his birthday in Italy, and he got sick. And so I knew Gwyneth through that, and I helped to introduce Bruce to Alex, who's a cancer survivor as well, and so it started at that point.
And now Alex is hanging out with Gwyneth Paltrow and Chris Martin.
Well, Alex is not hanging out with Gwyneth, but Alex knows he's
beautiful girl, that Gwyneth Paltrow.
Oh, she's fantastic, and a great lady, and her mother Blythe Danner. And they used to be neighbors.
Sexy Gwyneth Paltrow, yes.
Yeah, I mean,
what would you do with that?
He probably watched her grow up, Howard.
In a way.
That's too bad.
I did.
That's too bad.
I watched the Kardashian kids grow up. I knew.
You did?
I knew Bob.
What age did her ass start to get that big?
Oh.
How old was she when it really started to develop?
I didn't have my LASIK by that point, Howard.
You don't even know. So you've never, I assume you masturbate.
What?
What?
You never masturbated to Gwyneth Paltrow or Kim Kardashian, did you? Is your son here with you today?
Yes, he is.
I wonder if he knows if he ever caught you masturbating.
No, he never did.
Did he ever see you and your wife having sex?
I don't think so.
Who knows? Did you ever have a talk with your son about sex?
Yeah.
You did.
Well, every father.
How do you know anything about sex? You've been with the same woman for 100 years.
Here's the deal. I mean, it's kind of a narrow-minded view, but
whose penis is bigger, yours or your son's?
That's a great question.
What do you need your son? Where is he? This is Steve Michaels?
Steve Michaels.
What does he do for a living?
He runs Asylum Entertainment. His company produced the Kennedy series that aired on Reel's network that was rejected after. Here he is.
This is your kid, huh?
He causes a bunch of controversy, doesn't he?
He is the number one fan.
You produced, Steve, hello.
Yeah.
How you doing?
You produced the Kennedy special.
I did.
The one that was controversial. They wouldn't air it.
Series, correct.
Right.
No kidding. So you work and everything. You don't just live off your father's millions, huh?
He never give me anything.
Never gave you anything.
I want him. Where do I get him?
And he taught you about sex?
I did see them once, which was traumatizing.
Did you really?
When?
Yeah.
When was that?
Well, I'm not going to tell you. I just kind of walked in the door. You know,
is that right? Oh.
I ran for the hill.
You walked in on Al Michaels having sex?
Yeah, and I'm bigger.
And you are bigger.
How do you know? Come on.
What position was Al in with your mother?
Your mother's listening right now.
Oh,
we got to go back and see her
about that.
What position?
We're gonna go with missionary.
Are you serious? Because I've talked to people
kind
about.
of popped in. I'm like, I don't know what was going on.
It's like whoa, stop the clock.
How old were you?
About 15.
Oh dear!
Wow,
Get out of town.
You had no idea.
I had no
You
idea.
guys didn't lock the door. I didn't think you had.
Oh, stop it. Well, where were you? I mean, were you looking
I just
under
was walking
the...
in. I don't know. I just kind of walked in.
You double.
I shut the door.
Did you think your mother was being attacked? Did you almost...
She was 15 years old. He knew what his dad was up to.
It's embarrassing, right?
It was embarrassing.
Is that something that traumatizes you in a sense? I mean, really gets you crazy? I mean, to think of... Because you don't want to think of your parents as sexual
No, it's
beings.
disgusting. I still can't.
Oh, come on.
You had no idea.
I mean, what was dinner like later that evening?
Were you able to see anything?
No. I kind of saw.
So you don't know what position they were in?
No, I think it was missionary.
Missionary.
Leave it out, Mike. There was some movement. I don't know what was going on. I don't even know. How did I get here?
I knew Al was a missionary guy.
No, I have to warm up. You know, it's a starter set.
Do you remember your father teaching you about sex?
Do you remember the talk?
No, actually, I don't think we did. Maybe now's a good time.
Who's going to talk to who?
Do you believe your father has been faithful all these years? I mean, it's unbelievable. 100%. You think he's straight as an arrow?
Yeah.
It's unbelievable, right?
Yeah.
That's an inspiration. You were not married?
I am married.
Oh, you are married.
Yeah.
2 kids.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
That's nice. You
my
guys
granddaughter's in New York on this trip with him, and we have a grandson.
Right. But you, unlike your father, you cheat, right?
Oh, my God.
You're not going down that road. Well, good for you, huh?
Yeah.
And look at you.
Yeah.
What, do you got a sister also?
I do.
He does.
What does she do for a living?
She used to be. She was a publicist at CBS for a while, and then she left there to become a mommy.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, 2 nice
I told
kids.
her about this.
You actually like your dad?
I do.
Oh, wow.
Can you imagine?
That's
why not? What's not to
wonderful.
like? I mean, you listen, you play your cards right, you'll inherit the mother load.
That's the idea, right?
If my father was an earner like Al Michaels,
You'd
would
be good to him.
I'd kiss his balls.
Ben.
I'm not going to kiss his ball.
Now, has your sister seen your parents having sex?
Oh,
No.
dear.
I mean, what's with these two? Can't they close the door? It's almost like they want
Put
you.
a lock on that door.
Pretty
Come on.
wild.
It's like Jay and the Americans.
It's-
Let's
yeah.
close the door and throw away the key, right?
Do you ever lock the door when you're making love to your beautiful wife?
These days?
Yeah.
No, it's nobody's home anymore. That's it. It's just us.
He's hoping somebody comes back and walks in.
Did you enjoy your father's notoriety and his fame when you were growing up? Was this something you were proud of?
Yeah, it was pretty cool, though. Although, you kind of have to become a ticket broker. Everybody wants the
Right.
tickets.
I was going to say, you got to go to a lot of great games.
Did you ever say to yourself, I'm going to become a sportscaster like my father? Never. Smart man.
Yeah.
See, that's why I like you.
Yeah, you can't do that.
You can't compete with that. You got to go find your own thing.
Yeah.
That's what I try to tell these kids.
This kid is tremendous. Let me tell you something about it. I just want to tell you one thing. He did a bunch of stuff, 30 for 30 on ESPN, where they went out and they hired different directors. He hired Peter Berg, who does Friday Night Lights. Peter Berg called me after we worked with Steve and said, your son is the only honest guy in Hollywood.
Wow.
Now, is that the greatest compliment a father can get?
I can't believe I finally met an honest guy in Hollywood.
Yes.
How do you know your penis is bigger than your father's? Have you seen your father in the shower?
No.
You guys ever golf?
Yeah, maybe, well, not in a while. I mean, it's been probably since high school.
Yeah.
But again, that's traumatizing too. So
Right. And you are bigger than your dad, huh?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Right. Wow. I'm not bigger than my dad. My dad's got me by 3 or 4 inches.
Even at this point? Come on.
Yeah. I'm telling you, even shriveled up, my dad's way bigger than me.
Get your mom on the phone. I want to hear about this.
By the way, you two have the same voice, don't you? It's a very. You could probably take work away from your father, couldn't you?
Or Billy West, yeah.
That's right.
Or Billy West, right? Billy West could do it too.
The only thing that Al Michaels wants to tell us and remind us about is that on Sunday Night Football, he is there. Sunday nights at 8:20 on NBC. You just did the big Jets game with the Patriots. The Patriots beat the Jets
by 21 last night.
But you never announce who you're a fan of, right? Do you actually have a team you're a fan of, or is that ridiculous?
I don't, because you know what it is? When you're announcing a game, all you're rooting for drama. I just want a great game.
Right. You don't bet on the games?
No. You know what? As much as I know, and I tell my friends who pay $500 a week to go get some idiot named Benny the dog or somebody to tell them who they think is going to win. What are you doing? It's like listening to stock analysts, too. They don't know what the hell they're talking about, Howard.
You have seen so many games and witnessed so many things on the field. Do you think, if you were given a team to coach, do you think you could do it?
Coach a team?
Yeah, coach a team. Actually bring a team along into the playoffs and eventually win the Super Bowl. Do you think you could actually run a team?
No.
You couldn't.
No, because you need CEO skills. I don't have those.
You don't have it.
Well, you and I are the same. I mean, well, our business is we're in the talent. We're in the creative end.
Yes.
See, to me, there's a huge difference between being creative and knowing business. And a great coach has a great business sense, and could be most of these guys could be very good CEOs.
Right.
You and I, forget about that.
You know
Robin
what you
could be a
should
CEO.
do, but you don't know what those other guys should do.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And nor do I want to, have to go there 16 hours a day and and watch and be responsible for all of these people.
When you watch these games, do you ever say to yourself, "I can't believe how dumb this coach is"? Like, do you really see idiots?
Well, what you see decisions that would be classified as dumb, but then
What is the big decision?
Well, yesterday wasn't in that Atlanta game. Was that a dumb decision?
As it turns out, yeah, that's the great thing about sports. The guy made a call. The coach of Atlanta went for it on 4th down into overtime. Didn't work. But that's one of those things. Oh, what an idiot he is! A day later. But if it works, what
He's
a genius!
a hero, yeah.
What guts this guy has, and all that.
So you don't feel the guy is an idiot?
No, I know him, and I mean he made a call. He made a call that he thought was right, and it turned out to be wrong.
Right.
These guys are making a million decisions a week.
What's going on with the NBA?
They ain't playing at the moment.
Who do you side with? I always side with the players because I think talent gets screwed.
What is the deal? 50-50 is not good enough? What's going on there?
Yeah, it reaches the point, at the end of the day, it's like who has, speaking of the bigger, right? That's what it comes down to.
Right.
Who wants, I mean, they're close enough, and football was close enough, and then people are going, well, what is this all about at the end? And I think you lose sight of the bigger picture.
I haven't asked Stephen a question in a while. When you witness their sex, your parents having sex, how long did it go on for? I mean, can this guy hold out in the sex?
Stay there.
No, who knows? He knows.
I only saw about a second of it, but it lasted a lifetime in my brain.
Yeah.
Still going on.
Was your mother making noise?
Yeah, there you go.
Nothing, right?
God.
She was quiet. She was quiet as could
Little
be.
Lupe, yeah. You have any clips of that?
Was she quiet or was she noisy like Little Lupe?
I think I'm going to go a little quiet.
A little bit quiet.
Yeah.
Sorry, Al. That's not.
She was gay.
Well, that's quite a story. It's unbelievable. Well, listen, Al Michaels, I love you. I don't know why. I don't know why it's been so long. Between visits.
I just haven't. I don't get to New York that much.
All right, listen, you're a busy man. If you're not around, Steve, you come in. Somebody should be here representing the family.
We need to be here on a regular basis.
Watch Al Michaels on Sunday Night Football. Sunday nights, 8:20 on NBC. Al says if the rumors are true that I'm on America's Got Talent, he says the show's not big enough for me.
Wrong move.
Right. Not wrong move, Steve.
Howard, don't do that. I'm telling you right now.
Steve, Steve, what do you think? America's Got Talent? Yes or no? Should I do it or not?
No, I think that'd be jumping the shark a little bit.
Jumping the shark. Don't do it. Don't be on the show.
No.
It would be a bad career move.
Mm-hmm. Keep doing what you're doing.
What do you need it for? What do you? I mean, really? Why?
Because I need to find talent. Listen, first of all, these rumors. Every time a judge disappears from a show, they mention my name right away.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
now,
yeah.
I first of all, if in fact America's Got Talent really wanted me for the right deal, I would be terrific as a judge.
You'd be fantastic.
Now, why would I be terrific? Because I really am serious about finding talent. I could offer something. I don't clown around. You hire me to do a job. I do the job. I'll find you some talent. I'm not going to find you some guy who's a Frank Sinatra impersonator.
The reason I think he should do it is because he's watching the show anyway.
I might as well
work.
I might as well get paid.
You can watch the show on your couch in your underwear, but I mean, to actually work on the show, you got to go there, get dressed, do the whole thing, blah, 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 do the interviews.
How hard could it be? I mean, you sit there and
what do
you
you need it for? You getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning? I heard you the other day. You're tired of getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, so now what are you going to do?
If I'm a judge, would you audition as a singer? Can you sing it?
Of course I would.
You would.
Of course I would. Let's lock the door and throw away the key. Ba-ba boom boom.
Yeah. Well, you should have done that for your son. Busy with that wife of yours. Good for you. You're very macho. What is it? Okay, Ralph. Real quick, Ralph wants to talk to you. Go ahead,
Ralph.
That's right. Go ahead.
Hey, you and Collingsworth are great Monday Night Football. But
Sunday.
Sunday Night Football.
Sunday night.
Yeah, but I do miss you guys on Monday. It was like, it was so classic, and ESPN commentators just blow. It's not the same. It's just awful. But what I'm wondering, how come you're not? Is it an NFL rule that you can't say who you pick? I mean, I know what you're saying, like you don't want to put it out there, but like when Collingsworth does Inside the NFL, he won't say who he's picking on Sunday night.
In other words, you don't make a prediction on games.
No, I mean, to me, it's worth it. You know what? Some shows do. Collinsworth feels, and Phil Simms is on that show too, and he doesn't pick the game that he does.
What's the point anyway?
Well,
you're going to watch the game, and you'll see who wins.
Watch the game. Well, but and then some fans think, "Oh, he's against our team." It depends. The smaller the city, the crazier they get with the announcers. And we are, we're the messengers, so we're the ones that get slain. Their team stinks, we stink.
Ralph, is Al Michaels the best announcer?
Al Michaels is excellent. I don't know anybody better.
Wow, from Ralph. From Ralph.
From Ralph.
From a guy who knows nothing about sports.
There you go.
All right, another quick question, because Al's on a very busy schedule with his son. Go ahead, Jim.
Not really, but...
Hey, no, I'm just trying to make it sound like you got something going on. All right, Jim, go ahead.
Hey, Al, do you consider Boomer Esiason the biggest jerk you worked with on air?
Your son is nodding yes.
Oh.
Steve, why? He is. He's saying you consider Boomer Esiason a jerk. Is it right, Steve? True.
Is Boomer a jerk?
Not to get you in trouble.
No. I had him for a couple of years early in his career, and I did the best I could to help him.
Why will your son say? Your son obviously knows that you think.
No, Boomer went out, blasting me, and still does from time to time.
Yeah, he does.
Why?
I don't know.
I don't know. They do a show on New York. And I heard them one morning talking about that he just doesn't get along with Al Michaels. And to the point where he's not even going to talk about it anymore.
How do you not get along with Al Michaels? I don't understand. What's the rub between you two? I don't get it.
I don't get it either. So, hey.
You like him.
Hey, Howard, I've worked with 100 different animals.
Are you going to say fuck Boomer right now?
No, not
Steve,
not even
do you ever hear him
serious.
curse? Do you ever hear him say anything?
Oh, yeah.
He does?
Sure.
Oh, at home he's a monster.
Absolutely.
Right. How often did he beat you?
Only a few times in the belt.
Oh, get out of town.
Did he use a belt on you? Do you ever pull your pants down and use a belt?
No.
Never.
No belt.
But you've heard your father say words about Boomer. Right?
A few times.
Do you get angry when someone criticizes your father? I mean, he is your dad.
I think it's only been Boomer.
Right. Yeah. Does he ever badmouth the GIF?
No.
Never.
No,
okay. All right. That's nice. Jim, quickly, a quick question. Go ahead.
Yeah. Also, Al, did you see Gary's shitty ass first pitch?
At Shea Stadium that time?
Yeah. Did you see
on YouTube?
You saw Gary's pitch?
Absolutely.
Here it is again. We've seen it many times. Here's Gary. A guy. He should have been able to do it, right? I mean, it's one of the worst first pitches ever, right?
Gary was probably very nervous. I'm not sure Gary warmed up. Yeah. Yeah. Well, maybe he was trying to deck the guy. I don't know. You're right-handed. You throw inside or a right-handed batter, I guess.
Do you ever throw a ball? I mean, it's not that hard.
Do I throw a ball?
Yeah, do you know how to do it?
I have, yeah.
Have you ever seen a man throw a ball? And he's coaching children
like
on
that. That's an errant toss. That's the way I would look at it.
That's right. Steve at home was out secretly laughing at that a lot, and he just doesn't want to say anything.
A little bit.
What was more traumatic, seeing Gary's pitch or your parents make love, Steve?
That's kind of a time.
Well, anyway, listen, the great Al Michaels and his son Steve. And what are you working on now, Steve? You got any projects coming up that I need to know about?
We're still recovering from the Kennedys, but yeah, we've got a number of...
that was you took a beating on that one, right?
We did. No, actually, we didn't. It was great. The History Channel was tremendous. And
right.
Yeah.
They were originally going to run it on network television. And
the History Channel people, they were heroes in this thing, by the way. Yeah. 100%.
Who were the people that got the Kennedy story off the air? Let's be honest. Who was it?
I'll go with... Caroline and Maria, off the record.
Off the record.
Off the record.
Perfect place to be off the record.
They were friends in high places that didn't.
You're saying that whatever the take was that you had on the Kennedys, Caroline Kennedy and Maria Shriver somehow got together and put pressure on who to take it off the air?
That's my guess. Listen, we weren't involved in all those decisions, but it certainly seemed that way. I mean, that's how the story was told out there.
What network ran? Was it
the Reels Network, who have also been tremendous?
Right,
Stan Hubbard.
Stanley Hubbard, right?
It was originally going to air on ABC. Am I correct?
History Channel.
History Channel,
right? Which is run by ABC Cable,
right? And so someone picked up the phone and got that thing off.
Hello,
they did.
Were you ready to hang yourself after doing all that work?
It wasn't great, but then we found our savior in Reels Channel. They finally put it on the air for us.
All right, and as soon as I learn where the Reels Channel is, I'll watch it.
It's with a Z.
Who is the worst person?
Somewhere.
Who is the worst person in the Michaels family? Caroline Kennedy or Boomer Esiason? Al, you first.
Me?
Yes. Who do you dislike most?
I love everybody. At this point, Howard, come on. At this point,
Steve, who's worse, Boomer or Caroline?
they've both been a lot of fun.
All right. Well, that's sad. You see, there's a lot that goes on we don't know about.
Yeah, you know. But, hey, look, you know, it's at a certain point in your life, it's just.
I always care.
You do care.
That's right.
You're too on top of this stuff.
I always hold.
I love
right.
the way you cut. Howard cuts right to the nub of it.
Oh, yeah.
He knows exactly what's happening on
Gets
the
right
inside
in
of
there.
What
Like a surgeon.
What else
But
do I have
Robin,
to
you
do?
are the Robin. I just love. I cannot tell you how much I love Robin.
Well, who doesn't love Robin? She's America's sweetheart.
She is America's
I don't
sweetheart.
think Boomer is on.
Watch out,
Robin,
Michaels.
You're going to live to be 190 because you love to laugh, and I mean your laugh makes me laugh.
Oh, thank you.
You're just the greatest.
Watch out, Michaels, on Sunday Night Football, Sunday nights at 8:20 on NBC. And Steve is trying to figure out what to do after the devastating loss of his Kennedy special that went on something called the Reels Network, who were real heroes.
Was this better than talking about Lyme disease for 20 minutes?
Yes, I loved it. I love seeing you. All right, we'll be back right after these words. The great Al Michaels and his son, Steve.
It's been way too long. Oh, my God.
I was going to bring it up, but does Peter King have a beef with you as well?
No, that was years ago.
Howard,
that was great, man.
Thank you for coming in.
Oh, my God.
I left your mic. Thank you. I apologize.
No.
Did he say something while the mic was open?
Yes, he did.
Good to see you.
I'm
so glad you came back. We missed you.
Yeah.
Steve, you made your debut in historic fashion.
A lot of fun.
Do you regret breaking that story?
It's not going to go great for me, probably. Yeah. But, you know, Howard can get anything out of you, right?
You know what? Exactly. People knew that, though. People knew that.
That's true.
This wasn't an exclusive?
Well, it had already been written.
No,
so.
it's been written.
In the trades. The trades got it. The trades got it right.
Well, no, just confirmed it.
Mr. Michaels.
They got it right.
Now, when I think about primetime football, your name is the first that comes to mind.
Right.
What makes Howard equally as legendary in his own craft?
Well, he's the king of all media because he is the king of all media. He's the greatest of all time. He's got an energy every day. It's fantastic. You can tune in anytime. Doesn't matter when it is. Doesn't matter how Howard feels. And you're going to laugh like crazy. That's what I love.
You absolutely love the show. I mean,
Are you kidding me? I'm going all the way back. I found him. I discovered him before Howard was Howard. So it's great, you know. It's like he was auditioning for America's Got Talent, and I was judging, and I found him. That's the way I look at it.
Great seeing you, Mr. Michaels.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
Big day today. Chaz Bono coming by. Anxious to talk to Chaz. See what's happening.
Now, you will stay in the male pronouns when you're talking
Absolutely. I'm not like his mom. I understand he wants a certain respect, and he wants to be called him, and that's it. I go along with it. Listen, whatever anyone wants, I do.
You're easy.
I'm easy that way. I mean, who cares? That's the problem.
Cher just forgets. You know, when you raise a daughter, I mean, you only know Chaz for how long?
Well, listen, I grew up knowing Chaz. I mean,
but you weren't involved with Chaz every day.
I was actually. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yeah, every day. I'm very close to the Bono family.
Morning, Chaz.
Hey.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Not bad, thanks.
Good.
So welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Are you looking forward to this appearance? Here, right this way. You can just follow me.
Yeah, I am, actually. Thank you much.
Do you know about how Howard's been sort of championing your cause on Dancing with the Stars?
I've heard that, yes.
Are you a fan as well, or what do you know about Howard?
The truth is, I haven't really listened to Howard that much because I don't know if Sirius. I used to listen to him before. And I also was a big fan of his movie, actually. I love his movie, so I think it should be fun.
Cool. I'll see you in the studio.
Okay.
All right.
Chaz Bono is most recently on Dancing with the Stars. She's famous for like 20 different reasons, especially the whole Sonny and Cher thing. And she's here.
Did you say she?
He.
I
fucked
knew
up.
you'd do it.
I fucked up already.
You were so good before he was here.
There's Chaz. I feel like I know you. I watch you on
Chaz
every
looks
show.
like he's walking to death row. What?
Chaz, do you feel like you're in death row or something? No, it's all right.
Should I?
No, be comfortable, please.
Okay.
Good to meet you.
Good to meet you.
It's weird seeing you because I've been watching you on Dancing with the Stars. Then I watched you on the Oprah thing, the documentary. I feel like do people feel like they know you?
I think they do, yeah.
And I think
we feel like we watched you grow up, of course.
What, you're like segregated in a booth. What's
Absolutely.
that about?
We believe in segregation.
Okay.
Well, with all that testosterone throwing through your male body,
I don't want to be in there.
I didn't want you near Robin.
Okay.
I didn't know how you could handle it.
I can handle it, I think.
You know, it's so funny when I hear you talking about testosterone and how it really has changed you. It is a fascinating experiment in a way because not that many people get to experience that.
No.
Both the life with estrogen and the life with testosterone.
It's true. I mean, I think, I have insights that, most people just don't have.
Yeah, because when you said, this really hit home for me, you said, I started taking testosterone and I realized how yappy women are. Like it never hit you before. Like you used to be able to tolerate all of that.
Stuff rolled off my back a lot easier before. Is what I'll say.
I remember in the documentary even that your girlfriend said,
she's, she will drive any man crazy.
Right.
So,
she's yappy.
She talks constantly. I mean,
and you found before the whole testosterone thing that you could really understand her feelings a little better and listen to this talk.
Tolerate it.
You could tolerate it.
Yeah. I mean, I never, I was never a terribly emotional person, but stuff just really rolled back off my back easily. Yeah. And now it's a little, sometimes I'll just be like, honey, do you ever not stop talking just for a little while?
Well, I think about it too. Like I'm trying to think of all the things that testosterone
would be different. Yeah.
Like do you find yourself like? Did you used to be? I was talking to my wife about this. I don't know if you met her out there, but I said, I'm gassy. And like I have to run out. And do you find yourself being less sensitive to that? You just blast one out, and
I am a little less sensitive to that stuff. I mean, I remember, early on in my transition, and I went to see a Broadway show here, and I was in the bathroom during intermission, and the guy next to me was farting so loud. I literally started laughing because I was thinking a woman would have to be dying to do that in a public bathroom. Just like absolutely dying. And this guy had no problem.
I mean, I go to men's room. Now listen, I was born a guy.
Right.
I cannot take when these guys are shitting in a men's room. I would much rather go to the ladies' room.
Well, sometimes it's really amazing to me because they will describe, the guys are making noises. And, like that is something women just wouldn't do. They'd wait to be home.
Absolutely.
So you're getting to experience all of these different changes. I was thinking about you coming in, and I said, the thing that I think probably people don't realize about you the most and actually, before I even tell you that, this whole Dancing with the Stars thing.
Yes.
I was so disgusted. And I've had Keith Abelow on the show many times, Dr. Keith Abelow. I've had him on the show many times.
We even had him on the show after that.
Yeah, he seemed like a pretty reasonable guy, And when he came out, here's an educated guy and stuff. He's on TV a lot. And he comes out and he goes, I don't think Chaz should be on Dancing with the Stars. He's going to turn everybody gay and all of this shit. I became very offended. I became your biggest defender because this is offensive to me.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, what is this like? When you announced Dancing with the Stars, did people make death threats?
I got a couple on Twitter. I got some death threats. Yeah.
Did you expect it, or were you?
I was expecting a little something, of course, but it turned into something that I didn't expect. And then, kind of on the opposite side, the positive response as a result of that, I never expected. Wow. So it was like suddenly me being on this dance contest turned into
something
much bigger.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? It is bigger because, you know, I was saying, gee, it's going to be interesting when Chaz goes on Dancing with the Stars because you rely on America's votes.
Right.
And if you read the newspapers and the reaction to you going on the show, you would think you would get 3 votes because a middle America would have said, fuck you, Chaz. No way we're voting for you. And lo and behold, you weren't the greatest dancer, but America put you through because they felt something for you, right? You became a sympathetic person to them.
Yeah.
That's shocking to me. In the same way that we have a black president is shocking to me.
Right.
I think it was kind of shocking that you even got votes. Were you anticipating getting thrown off the first week?
You know, I mean, I really hoped I wouldn't. That's like, you know, your worst nightmare.
Right.
But I really didn't, you know, plan on being around forever.
Right.
And so, yeah, I mean, I was thrilled. And it really, you know, if anything, it's really spurred me on to really do my best and put everything into it because I was overwhelmed by the response that I got from people.
You say after you were on Dancing with the Stars and your mother showed up that week to Dancing with the Stars, that your relationship with her got better. And I thought, that's sad. You agree with that statement? I feel like, is that what it takes? Yeah, because is that what it takes to get a mother's love?
No, I didn't. No, I think you're what I meant was that I think that we had something that we could kind of relate to professionally because she's a performer. I've written books and I, give talks and stuff like that, but and in activism, but she doesn't do any of that. So here was something that like we could kind of bond on a certain level that hadn't.
It was a
before.
common experience.
It was a common experience.
Did she give you advice?
She didn't really give me advice. What she did, which was amazing, was about week 2, I got my knee and my ankle got injured, and so she sent over all the physical therapists and stuff that she works with when she's touring to come over and work on me, and it totally got me through the show. All
right, when I think about your life, and this is just a way outsider's view.
Okay.
I was one of those guys sitting there watching Sonny and Cher Hour every fucking week, seeing you come running out, and you were dressed like Cher and all that, and all that stuff. When I think about the reality of your life, when I was a little kid, I'd say, oh, wow, how cool to be Sonny and Cher's kid because, wow.
You get to be on TV every week.
You get to be on TV, get, money and this and that.
Right.
The reality is, I don't know if did you see the Joan Rivers documentary?
I haven't seen it yet, no.
Okay. I think you should see it.
I've heard it's great, so.
When they interview Melissa, Joan Rivers' daughter, she says, listen, it wasn't easy being Joan Rivers' daughter. She was married to her career.
Right.
She was in love with show business. I was definitely a second thought. That's just the way it is when you're the child of someone in show business.
Right.
The narcissism level is off the roof. It's off the hook.
Right.
And you're really not the most important thing in their lives. That was that kind of vibe. She didn't put it that way. I feel like in seeing all the interviews with you, if you have anger over this, I would imagine your anger, and even when you went to drugs and all that other stuff, I would think you would be angry for not being first in your parents' life. Not just your mom.
Right. At a certain point, I think you just accept that, and that's how I grew up with both of my parents having this huge career that was a priority, and it was.
Did you feel abandoned?
Did I feel abandoned? No. I was, the way that I dealt with it was I just tried to kind of be as little trouble as possible, and it took
stay out of the way, so to speak.
Stay out of the way and just let them do. And my dad, wasn't. By the time they got divorced, and I was, getting a little older, and I don't have any memory of them together. Right. My mom's career was taking off. My dad's didn't really. So I was actually, the time that I spent with my dad was much more, quote unquote normal kind of stuff.
And your dad was more accepting of your sexuality, and yet the last year of your dad's life, you did not talk to him. And I understand why. Your dad was a politician at that point.
Right.
He came out against, I think it was gay marriage.
Yep.
Like he had a chance to make an impact with gay marriage.
Right.
And you said, you know what? Fuck you. I cannot talk to you because how can you do this? I am your daughter at that time. You were a daughter. And you said, I'm gay, and you're voting against my rights?
It wasn't quite as strong as that. But here's the thing. I think we both I was angry. I was pissed off, and I had done an interview with him. I was writing for The Advocate at that time, and so I interviewed him, and he said that he didn't have any problem with gay marriage during this interview. And I heard later from another congressman that he told me my dad probably got a lot of flack for that interview when it came out.
Right.
And so then he comes out and he co-sponsored the Defense of Marriage Act, and that's what really bothered me. I mean, I knew that he would probably have to vote for it, and there's a certain amount of politics, which is why politics is so messed up, that you have to follow the party line and everything.
Right.
But the fact that he took the extra step and co-sponsored it is what really pissed me off.
Well, it was like a personal smack in your face. You took it that way. You took it personally. You don't have to co-sponsor the goddamn bill.
Exactly. You don't have to co-sponsor it. So
did he ever talk to you about it ahead of time and say, "Listen"?
That was kind of the bad thing. I mean, both me and my dad at that time were not really confrontational people. We were kind of emotional wimps.
Right.
So instead of just talking about it and having it out or agreeing to disagree or whatever, we just didn't talk, and then he passed away.
So is that like a great regret of yours, or do you put it in its proper perspective? You were absolutely right to be angry about that.
I think it's both. I mean, I was absolutely right to be angry about it. I mean, you can't help your emotions. I wish that I'd handled it differently.
Did you go to the funeral?
Of course.
But was that weird? Did anyone come up to you and go, "You weren't even talking to your dad. You gave him great heartbreak," and blah, 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 blah?
No, not
No one
at
laid
all.
a trip?
No. Everybody was really nice, and it was, I mean, so at the time I did, I mean, but it wasn't just me. I thought both of us, what a stupid thing we did. And,
right.
And
takes two to tango.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I was like, God, we should have just, talked. What a stupid thing. But it changed, it changed my relationship and how I viewed things. And when Mary took over his seat, I have always since we leave politics. I mean,
you still in touch with Mary?
Oh, we're very close.
Well, they have, he has siblings.
Oh,
that's right.
So we, though we'll talk politics sometimes, never do we let it get heated or anything.
Did you think it was weird when your mom got up and gave the eulogy for Sonny? I mean, they had been at each other's throats. They could barely even look at each other. And then all of a sudden, I understood the emotion. He was the guy who sort of brought her out of her shell and all that.
Right.
But was it weird for you sitting there watching your mom carry on at the funeral?
No. I mean, in truth, I was the one who told my mom. And I wasn't really expecting...
You told her that Sonny was dead?
Yeah.
They said, "Listen, Chaz, you better be the one to tell her."
No, not even that. No, Mary called me and told me, and I was like, okay. And I was like, well, I got to let my mom know. She was in England at the time, and I actually called my aunt, her sister, to get a number there. And my aunt was like, she's going to be really upset. Do you want me to tell her? And I thought, no, it's no big deal. I'll tell her.
Right.
And I told her, and she fell apart on the phone.
Right.
And really, for me, it was the first time that it hit me how much my parents meant to each other and how much at one time they really loved each other. So for me, it gave a lot of closure, actually.
Because they were so bitterly... So as much as they cared for each other, it was such bitterness.
They went back and forth. Sometimes they got along great, and there were times where when I was growing up where my mom would go and hang out with my dad at his house in Palm Springs, and and then
so that's confusing in a way.
And then they
have a blow up.
And then they have exactly.
Yeah.
So
would you have preferred they just were either angry with each other or civil with each other, like one way or the other? The confusion is the hard. I ask that because there's a lot of people in divorces. Right. They're all trying to be like have the perfect divorce and all this. Maybe it's more confusing, the perfect divorce.
The good thing about both of them is they, growing up and really until I was in probably my teens or whatever, neither of them ever spoke a bad word about the other one.
Right.
So, that was good.
I wonder, they always say that's good. And sometimes I fantasize, maybe it's good to just be straight with your kids and say, you know what, your mother is a fucking pain in the ass.
But she's not a pain in the ass
maybe she was.
to her kids.
I
Who
think,
knows?
No. Actually, I mean, my dad was a great guy, but a complicated guy. And he did have this kind of old school Italian thing with his wives, and he tried to be really controlling, and
It's funny because I think of him as like this liberal hippie running around.
I know. That's the odd
Yeah.
thing, that he wound up a conservative Republican.
Yeah.
It was
but
weird.
he was sunny.
Yeah.
I think, I think what my dad wanted to do was stay in entertainment, and I think if he could have done that, he probably would have.
You know what's weird to me? I'm thinking about this now. It's all coming to me. I'm thinking about Cher as your mother.
Yeah.
Forget about Cher, the performer. I'm just thinking your mother. Like, she leaves Sonny. Sonny basically had her like a child.
Exactly.
He did everything for her.
Right.
Suddenly, you're a kid. Your mother gets divorced from Sonny. And suddenly now she's experiencing her first childhood.
Right.
She's free from daddy.
Well, maybe an adolescence.
And she all of a sudden says, now I'm free. Fuck this, I know she loved her daughter at the time. I'm saying, but, oh my God, now I can go out and date. I can go out and meet men. This had to be confusing to you.
I have
First
a
of all,
huge career.
Was it weird to you your mom was running around in, like, outrageous outfits, showing her ass cheeks? The belly, was famously flat. I mean, gorgeous body. Every guy wanted to fuck her. It's like,
I think,
how weird is that for you?
As a kid, I obviously at that part wasn't conscious, but I do remember, feeling weird when she'd come to school. Because she
was Cher.
She didn't look like the other mothers,
Would she dress that way to school, like the tight pants?
Of course
and
not. I mean, not Bob Mackie gowns or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, she has
her look.
She has her look. She has her style. It didn't look like the other moms. So
don't you think? Now I'm being dead serious.
Yeah.
Because I'm in therapy a lot. Don't you think a mother sometimes has to put aside their personal style of dress and everything and say, let me think like a 7-year-old kid or a 10-year-old kid, and let me think like, gee, maybe me showing up in a bra top isn't the best idea.
No. She never dressed inappropriately to any of those things. She just was more
stylish.
Stood
out.
She was more stylish. And when you're a kid at that age, like, grade school and everything, you want to be just like everybody else, just like the other kids.
Yeah. But doesn't it get weird for you when your mom starts to go through her adolescence? You're a kid. I don't know. You were young at the time of the divorce. All of a sudden, she's with that bagel guy. I can't think of his name. Rob Camilletti. She marries Greg Allman for 10 minutes.
Right.
Has a baby. All of a sudden now you've got a brother with Elijah.
I actually begged her to have. I wanted a brother more than anything.
You did?
I did. I drove her crazy.
Are you close with Elijah?
Do you remember that marriage at all? I mean, I don't hardly remember it.
What, the Allman marriage?
Yeah, it was short.
What was it like waking up and seeing these strange guys in the house? I mean, especially Greg Allman, who is not a great conversationalist, or I can't imagine empathic with a young girl.
There were never. I mean, the one thing about my mom has this wild image. She's fairly personally conservative, and she's never done, substances at all. And she was a serial monogamist, so it wasn't like there were men she'd have a boyfriend for 3 or 4 years and then another boyfriend. And
I often fantasize that I would meet Cher. Mm-hmm. I would go to bed with her, and then I'd be your father for a few minutes.
Be the latest conquest.
I would have been a good dad.
Mm-hmm.
You and I would have really bonded.
For the 5 minutes you were there.
Well, listen, I don't hang out long. I'm not,
No, I mean, look, I had some, great guys that I grew up with that she went out. I mean, like, Gene Simmons, who when I was a kid.
Oh, God, I forgot about him.
Oh, poor you. Gene is not a great influence, Chaz.
No.
Gene is not, but you know what? He was at that time, he was great with my brother and I. I mean, really amazing.
Would you go to Kiss concerts and things like that?
Oh, my God, yeah. I was a huge Kiss fan before they met. So,
explain that whole thing to me. I don't get it.
That was, so cool because now all my friends were Kiss fans.
Right.
And now I had every merchandising thing.
But isn't it weird? You go down to the kitchen in the morning, and Gene Simmons is making out with your mom. I mean, it's got to be surreal, Chaz. There's no way that can be a normal, even semi-normal childhood.
Well, it was probably nothing about my childhood was normal, but it was normal to me.
I mean, I'm fascinated by it.
Now, did Gene?
Just real quick, did Gene charge you for merchandise?
Oh, no.
Did you get the Kiss coffin for free?
I got it for free.
You got it for free.
I know. He likes to charge for about everything now.
But, cheapest guy on the planet, right?
Totally.
Yeah, but I mean, Cher probably had to pay for everything.
No, but he was, I mean, he was incredibly generous with me, actually.
He was.
He really was, yeah.
Well, I'm still trying to get a sense. Did you live at home every day? Were there nannies? Were there, I mean, who did the actual, who made breakfast? What
was the setup?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, when I was with my dad, no, there weren't, because he was around. So when I was with my mom, yeah, I had a nanny, and there was a cook, and
I imagine the
Did you go to
was
boarding
great.
school? Because Elijah told us he went to boarding school.
No, I didn't go to boarding school,
Okay.
but I did.
You might have been better off.
I might have.
Yeah.
I did. I went to school here in New York in performing arts, which then turned into LaGuardia.
Which is weird. I always had the vibe with you that you weren't into performing, that you were pushed onto the stage when you were a kid.
I was, as a kid.
And I think Dancing with the Stars for you was the hardest thing, because I don't really think you want to be a performer. I just feel like it's almost expected of you.
No, not really. I mean, I was really into acting, and was a drama major, and
I remember you had a band for a while,
and I
too.
had a band for a while.
I remember the
Were you guys any good, or was it bullshit?
No, I think we were actually pretty good. It's just we came out. Our record came out right as the industry changed, right as grunge happened, and so
that was it.
And that was it.
Did you write your own music?
Yep.
But what would have happened now? Just imagine this music career takes off. You're a woman.
That would have been a nightmare.
Yeah. Now you want to become a man?
Would have been a nightmare. It was. I mean, the time that I spent in the record industry actually was horrible, because I was expected to, the most of my life look and act like a girl, and it was torture. It really was.
So, getting back to this, I've had your brother Elijah Blue on the show. He was great.
Was he?
Oh, my God.
He's kind of out there.
He's out there, and he's very honest.
Do you two get along? Are you close?
We do. I mean, he's a weird guy. We're really different,
I get the
really
vibe that
people.
you two have nothing to do with each other.
Nothing in common. No, we do. I mean, I'm his big brother. I was his big sister. He comes to me when he needs something, generally. I mean, that's the truth.
Right.
When he needs me to help talk my mom into something he wants, or he needs support, or whatever. And
so is he living, in other words, he's had a difficult time transitioning from dependent child to a grown man. In other words, he's still dependent on your mom for a living.
Yeah.
And that's the worst feeling in the world.
Absolutely.
Why do you think he can't move on? Why is your mom vested in him staying a child?
No, I don't think so at this point. I think he's just, it's just been hard for him. I mean, it is a really hard way to grow up, and it is hard to make the transition, because you're living in this, reality that isn't reality. And so,
but did you ever say to your brother, go get your own thing? Just go. I know he's into music and all that.
Right.
Why don't you just go study medicine or something? Go be a doctor. Get out of the business.
Be a school teacher.
This isn't working. Do you ever say?
And I've talked to him. I talk to him a lot. I mean, I don't care what he does. I want to see him happy and thriving.
Right.
So,
and Greg,
does he have like relationships, and does he have like a girl?
He fucked Bijou Phillips, he told us, didn't he, or something?
I don't remember.
I think he probably told you everybody he fucked.
He had a list. Maybe it wasn't Bijou Phillips. It was somebody. I don't remember the interview.
Maybe Paris Hilton or something. I think he said.
This kid's fucked everybody.
He has, actually.
Do you ever get envious? Do you get penis envy of your brother?
I mean, a little bit.
Yeah.
Because girls just, it's amazing to me. I'm like, do they actually talk to the guy? Because that's not, but the girls just love him. So,
well, it's true. Like you say, he has no personality, or a weird personality.
It's just he's just out there. I mean, he's really. My brother is, incredibly smart, but in a completely non-practical, non-street smart
It's not
way.
doing him any good.
It will never do him any good.
Yeah.
And Greg Allman, he's nowhere to be. Is he involved with Elijah at all, or anyone?
I think not to a big degree, and I think there have been times where they've been close enough. But no, Greg is kind of.
Do you hate him?
No, I don't hate him. I think
he tore your mother up, right? I mean, he came into the house, he created complete chaos. He was a heroin addict.
He was a heroin addict. My mom didn't. I mean,
I don't know how she couldn't have known.
She didn't know.
Does your mom?
If you knew my mom, you'd know how she couldn't know.
But does your mom have horrible taste in men? Honestly.
No. There's been some really great guys she's dated. So
and did you want to shake her and say, Mom, the guy's a fucking heroin addict. What are you doing to our life?
No, he's a heroin addict.
Yeah, but you knew he was strange.
He did. I mean, one time he did. He picked me up from school once, and got lost on the way home, and We ended up home about, I don't know, probably 10 or 11.
Oh, my God.
What time did you start out?
Well, you picked me up at 3
o'clock. 3 o'clock.
Exactly.
And you got home 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah,
and all you were doing was going home.
We were trying to go home. I mean, that freaked me out because it was the first time I'd seen a grown-up not in control, and he kept asking people, do you know how to get back to Malibu? Can you, finally.
Oh, my goodness.
Finally,
so he was high.
And finally some guy said, I'm going that way, follow me. And then we stopped at the Chart House bar, and we were there for a few hours.
Oh, my goodness. He took you to the bar?
Yeah, he did.
Did he get wasted?
I'm sure he did.
Yeah.
And then by the time we got home, I mean, my mom, of course, was
livid,
completely panicked, and was way before cell phones or anything. So.
And there was probably no approaching the guy either. She's like, hey, you just put my daughter in danger. This and did you go to your mom and say, hey, listen, this fucking guy just put me in danger?
No, unfortunately, I wasn't that kid. I was, sitting at a table in the Chart House, scared, but not going to say anything.
You were the good soldier. In other words, you're not going to sit and make waves.
Never.
Because you didn't feel secure enough, right? And your mother's world, it was like, hey, just, go along for the ride and don't be a complainer.
And those two behemoths were now going to go at it. You didn't need to be in the middle of that.
Do you think your mother knows you? I mean, really knows who you are?
Not as well as other people.
Right. Because...
I noticed in the documentary, the relatives who seemed closest to you were not Cher.
Yeah, I mean, the transition was definitely the hardest on her, and I mean, I think slowly she's become more and more comfortable. But no, at first it was she had a really hard time.
It's really weird when I think of that video. Where your mom's in the stockings and she's on the ship and her ass cheeks and the tattoos are on her ass.
Yeah.
And I think when I was a young man, I thought of you. I go, what does the kid think of this? I didn't know you.
Well, at the time, I thought of Elijah. I was like, what does a kid think of his mom shaking her ass?
And then I thought of myself, and I went, I'm on TV as Fart Man.
Yeah.
I wonder what my kids are thinking.
You had a problem of your own.
Yeah, right. I'm wondering, I could have been way better about that, too. So it is a learning experience. And I'm not even, putting your mom down. I mean, I understand that world. But I just think of you and how difficult it might have been for you,
I think the truth is that, for any kids of really famous or, parents who are at the top of their industry in any way, it's a hard way to grow up because you really are, kind of second to that. I mean, and especially, in show business, the business of celebrity is it's
and you're also
thing.
Famous, and you don't know why.
Right. Yeah.
Do you feel competitive with your mom in that sense? Like, oh, gee, for a couple of years, I got to get famous too. You didn't feel that way.
I got to be famous in my own right. I'm tired of being Cher's daughter.
I felt like I wanted to carve out my own niche for sure, but it was never like a competition. It's just I really hoped someday people would see me as something more than just their kid. So
Chaz, did you ever enjoy being a girl, ever? Was it ever fun for you? It just sucked.
Even as a little girl, you felt something was wrong?
As far back as I have memory, I felt something was wrong, yeah.
Do you, you probably went to school with a lot of famous kids and stuff?
A few, not a ton.
Jennifer Aniston one of being one of them?
Well, Jennifer Aniston didn't grow up there, did she?
I went to high school with Jen.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you're growing up and everything, you were pretty brave about it. I mean, you came out pretty early on, right? I mean, the kids in school knew you were gay, like 13 or something like that?
High school.
High school.
My friends knew, yeah.
And no one else was out. I mean, out of your group, right? I mean, you were pretty much the only one.
I was pretty much the only one, yeah. I mean, I think I had one friend who was, I'm a little bit out, but not.
Did you get tons of action in high school? I mean, did you get tons of chicks? I picture, hey, look, you got the Sonny and Cher thing working for you. You got the fame, you got the friends, this and that. And since you're the one out, anyone who's lesbian wants to come over to your place and check it out.
I did. I did get the curious, some bi-curious girl.
Were you a seducer?
I mean, I guess to a small degree. I'm pretty. At that point, I was pretty still unassuming. I'm a pretty
You fly under the radar.
Yeah, I am, and that's kind of...
And you know that about yourself.
I do.
I see that with you. You kind of come in the room, like David Arquette said he went to a party with you the other night. You kind of come in, you work the room, but you do it very slowly, right?
Yeah. I mean, I've never been like.
Did you try to bang Jennifer Aniston?
No.
Never.
Never.
Why not? Now, there's a piece
Were
of
you
ass.
close? Did you? I mean,
Yeah,
did you
we
have
were tight. We were
I
absolutely
like your guy.
tight.
Now we can talk pussy.
Oh, stop it.
Why not?
There's a girl in the room.
But
Oh, you. Right. Did you have a crush on her?
I really didn't. I mean, there was a girl that I really fell hard for in high school, and
You talking about your mom's friend?
No. In my class.
your class?
Yeah, in my grade at PA. And so that took, really kind of took the focus. And
How old were you when you acted out on meeting a woman? Like, I imagine these girls would come on to you because they knew you were gay. And I bet you
Right.
that. Do you think there were a lot of girls who were quote unquote straight who wanted to experiment?
Well, yeah, that's where I fit in.
Did that annoy the
Definitely.
shit out of you? Like, what am I, an experiment?
No, it didn't, because I felt like I was a guy anyway. So
Right.
if anything, it made it harder for me. It was interesting because in high school, I wasn't with anybody who was gay.
Right.
And most of the few people that I was with, I think, are with men now.
Did you get it on with a lot of famous chicks?
Never, not a one.
No kids of a famous person?
Mm-mm.
Oh, poor you.
I know.
I mean, what the hell was wrong with you?
Yeah.
I mean, what kind of action are
I
you
know,
getting?
it's terrible.
What's your type? Your present girlfriend, almost wife, I would say.
Right.
Very hot, very femme, super femme.
Yeah, I mean, like a normal girl.
He's a guy.
She's hot, your girlfriend, I would
Thank you.
say.
Yeah.
But you're saying super femme, like a guy wants a feminine woman.
Yeah.
She's super femme.
Super femme. What does that
I
mean?
like her.
More feminine than Robin.
I find her attractive.
She is an attractive girl.
And she sticks by you thicker. I figured she'd dump you once you became a man, for sure. Because she's into girls.
She's bi.
She is bi.
Yeah.
She claims she likes you better as a man. In terms of physical appearance, she likes you better as a man than as a woman. You shocked by that?
No.
I am. I can't figure this whole thing out.
No.
You're confused.
I'm on the sidelines really confused over there. She cleared it up for me.
No, she's been with men and women her whole life. So
You ever been with a guy?
Once.
No kidding.
Yeah.
How old were you?
17.
Was it gross?
It was just kind of nothing.
Poor you.
It was just kind of nothing.
You met some dude and you said, were you attracted to the guy?
No, not at all.
You
No,
said, listen,
honestly,
were you trying to say, I'm going to convince myself to be straight?
You know what it really was? I was so sick when I was young, and I would come out to people, and people would always say, "How do you know if you've never slept with a guy?"
Right.
And I was so sick of hearing it that literally
People
that
worked
I
on you.
did it one time so that I could say, "Okay, I did it," and
He
it didn't
penetrated
change
you.
anything. Yeah, we had sex.
Was this someone who was in love with you? I mean, was he real?
No, he was a friend of a friend that I had known, and it wasn't, and that I could just do that. I could just,
And he says to you, okay, listen, I understand you want to get fucked by a guy.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm gonna, I would have done it for you too.
Yeah,
How old were you at the time?
I was 17.
17. Well, maybe with our age difference, I would have gone to jail. So this guy, he's like 17.
Yeah, we went
also.
to the movies, went back, had sex, and that was it.
Where'd you do it?
In my, in the apartment I was living in.
You take him back to the apartment.
Yeah.
He takes off your clothes. You hate your tits, the whole fucking thing.
Right.
It's a nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
Were you able to get wet?
I can't remember.
I remember. I remember if
Were
I
you
got
that
wet.
guy? No.
Was it painful?
Probably a little bit.
He probably tore you up a little bit because I mean with that disgusting cock of his. I can't believe this guy. Are you surprised this guy's never come forward with his story? That has to be a story.
I don't think it's that big of a. I mean, literally, it was. Yeah.
Did you make out with him?
Yeah, I didn't like the kissing.
Did you want to puke in his mouth?
I didn't want to puke in his mouth, but it was just.
You knew this is not for you.
It wasn't for me. I mean,
Yeah.
sex is sex, and sex, physically feels good, but it was just like, this is wrong. This just doesn't feel right. It didn't turn me on. It was just.
All right, so clear this up for me now.
Sure.
Now you're a man.
Right.
Had your breast removed, was happy. I watched the whole operation.
Yeah.
I was in on the operation. I don't know if you knew. Well, you were out. I was in there
Did
helping.
you scrub in?
I scrubbed in. And I felt happy for you because you felt liberated. You felt that
Absolutely.
you were in the right body. Now you feel better about yourself and all that. And I say, God bless, right?
Yeah.
But now they talk about getting a penis, and you're
Right.
considering the operation. As far as I'm concerned, they are nowhere near this operation. There's no fucking way I'm letting you do this.
Okay.
Because I think you're going to not have any sexual feeling down there.
Well, there's 2 different surgeries.
Go ahead.
And the one that I would do is basically they use what you already have, which is grown from
Your clit.
testosterone. Yeah.
They grow out your clitoris.
It grows. Testosterone makes it grow.
How big is your clit now?
Bigger than it used to be.
The 3 inches?
Probably, yeah.
You know, I'm 1 inch and I got a cock.
You know, and
Honest to God, Chaz.
I brought you something because I know
I may get this. You know what? This is going to sound weird to you. I'm considering getting the operation.
I know about you, and
maybe you want to be a man.
So I brought you. This is what I use.
Let me see that. What is that?
So this, I brought you this as a gift.
What is that?
What do you do with this?
That is called a soft pack. Now that is going to just help you.
Has this been used already?
No,
oh, okay.
brand new.
It looks like a little bit like it's someone opened the pack.
No.
This is a cock.
Yeah, that's a soft pack. You stick it in your pants.
Yeah.
It's going to give you a nice bulge.
Do you do that in order to feel like, because like I have a lot of people I know who are transgender.
Right.
And but the other way, you know.
Yeah, the other way.
Male to female.
Male to female.
Mm-hmm.
And they describe when they make love, they can't stand when anyone takes off their pants. They don't want to see below their waist because they haven't had the full operation yet. And they can't stand seeing their penis because they're women as far as they're concerned.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Are you that way too? Like, shit, you know what? Now I feel like a guy, but no way I want to see my vagina.
You know, I'm not as bad probably as them, because I think for me it was my bra. You know, it's a penis is really exterior; you can't miss it, and so I can imagine for transgender women, you know, it's going to be driving you crazy to have that.
But you don't want your girlfriend giving you oral down there because that would feel feminine.
Not really, because again, it doesn't work exactly like a vagina anymore. It's something in between. It really.
You're saying you have a 2 to 3 inch clit, and you can actually fuck a woman with it.
Well, no, I didn't say that.
Oh. Well, I fuck women with my 2 or 3 inches. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I got nothing down there. I think I was born a woman. I am so serious about this.
Mm-hmm.
So the operation, the way I understand it now, because you know more about this, you've researched it to death.
Yes, I have.
You're actually considering what you have now is fine. You could just stay like that.
Good.
And have the 2 to 3 inch clitoris.
Right.
And it feels different. It feels sort of like a penis.
It does, yeah.
And you can use it as such.
Well, you can't penetrate, but
right. But you can get it hard.
It does. It does. Yeah,
wow.
It does. You
now,
get
what's the
erections.
second choice?
Well, so I mean, what I will probably do, and I'll probably go to Belgrade actually, where I think
you got to go out of the country to get a good operation.
I'm glad you said that. I didn't know I didn't know what Belgrade was. I thought it was like maybe some kind of hospital or something.
Yeah, there's a doctor in Belgrade who just does this procedure the best of anywhere I've seen it. And
what's the procedure?
So they take your clitoris and basically kind of use certain ligaments and stuff, make it a little bit bigger, release it, wire it so you can take a graft from your cheek. And
why the cheek though? That would disfigure you, wouldn't it?
No, they just take a little graft.
Okay.
Of the inner skin, of the inside.
Oh, inside of your cheek.
Your skin,
okay, go ahead.
And they lengthen your urethra through it so you can urinate.
Yes.
And they put in testicular implants.
No shit.
Yeah.
So you'll be able to go.
It's going to be small.
You could believe me. I've lived that way.
But yeah, you'll be able to urinate through it, and it works.
And you'll be able to pee standing up.
And you'll be able to pee standing.
That would be a rush for you.
That would be. It would be.
I'm a guy. I pee sitting down. You know why? I'm small.
But
I get
not
pee
in
shy.
public. I'm sure in a you don't want to sit down in men's rooms.
I have to.
Bathroom.
Otherwise the pee won't come out. I am so ashamed of what I have between my legs. You're more proud of what you have between your legs than I am. That's the sad part of all this. I mean, it's a mess.
So, and I got to just tell you, what I went through to bring you this gift was I got stopped in security.
Oh no!
At the airport.
With this big rubber cock.
Yes.
Did you wear one of these before you became a man?
No, I didn't.
You never did?
No.
Like, I would think maybe it'd be fun, like, to walk around with it in your pants.
I think for some lesbians or whatever, it might be fun for a second. But.
When you were transitioning, and even to this day, do you use a strap-on to simulate a penis?
I've used strap-ons before, but it
can't be satisfying.
It's not terribly.
No, I mean, because really, what are you doing?
Right.
Because you got to sit there and rub yourself while you're using the strap-on.
Yeah.
What the hell is going on?
I know.
It's a bitch, man. Life is not easy.
It's not.
And you are financially independent now. You don't have to go to Cher and say, "Hey, honey, Give me a couple bucks here.
No, I don't, which is great.
How long have you been financially independent?
You know, I mean, for the most part, I know, you know, I've had to get help a couple times, but for the most part, since, I guess, like 96, 97.
Which is what you're trying to tell Elijah to do. Because once he gets free of mommy, it might be nice to sort of be making your own dough.
You know, definitely.
It's key.
It definitely feels better. I mean, before I transitioned, I was probably in the worst financial shape that I'd been in a while. And I needed a little help from her. And it felt horrible.
You had to go to her and
I
say,
had to
hey.
go to her, and it was, you know, I hated it.
Yeah, that's the worst.
So, yeah, I mean...
Meanwhile, if I was you, the way I'd play it, I'd be up Cher's ass every 10 fucking minutes. I'm telling you, Chaz, what is she sitting on? She's probably sitting on $200 million at this point.
You know,
she'd be my full-time job. I would be in service.
You don't need a job. You've got a job.
Yeah, I mean, that's my job. I would hang around with her and kiss her ass all day. But I admire you. You're trying to do your own thing, and that's the key.
Absolutely.
I mean, otherwise you're a slave, and you got to answer to her every minute.
Yeah.
By the way, did you know our buddy Ron Zimmerman?
Yeah, you know Ron?
Of course I know Ron.
Your mom was... We know Ron for years.
Yeah.
He was dating your mom.
Ron knows everybody.
Yeah.
Every place I go, I did Bill Maher, and everybody's talking about Ron.
Yeah.
So every time I'm around comedians, they're like, hey, how's Ron doing?
Like, all of a sudden, I opened up the Inquirer one day, and Ron is there dating Cher. And I went, how does that happen?
Yeah.
But I think Cher dumped Ron, right?
You know, they're very on again, off again.
Right.
And... So I don't, but I know they've written a couple pilots together. I think so. They've got like projects going.
Oh,
and
good.
I mean,
you like Ron?
I do like Ron. Yeah, he's really funny. He's a nice guy.
I feel if I had met your mom somewhere along the way, I would have.
You'd be having pilots with her.
I would have a pilot with her. I feel like the two of us would have had sex.
I think it's possible.
I think she would have liked me. I think I would have been fun for her, but it never worked out that way. What can I tell you?
Never met.
So what's going on? You got the see Chaz Bono on Being Chaz premiering Sunday, November 27th at 8 p.m. on OWN.
Yeah.
Are they rerunning that, or is this a new?
This is a new thing.
Oh.
Yeah, this is new. We started filming it, I guess, about a month before I started doing Dancing with the Stars.
Right.
And we filmed all the way through it. So it's
a reality show.
It's a reality show. So
it's a glimpse into. I'm there.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's fun. It's hard though. You know, Jen and I have been going through some stuff, and you really see it in this film.
What are we talking? Sexual?
No, not sexual.
How often are you banging your girlfriend?
You know, then I guess then
2 times a week. You are a guy.
Yeah.
You really are. You're fully a man now.
How long have you two been together?
You've like 8 years, right?
No, six years.
Yeah.
She started drinking heavily when you were going through all this.
Yeah.
Were you ready to bail out at that point? Like, I can't take this. But you had your own substance problems, right? You understood.
I understood, but it's hard. I mean, I've been sober now 7.5 years. So it's that's been, you know, for me, the hard part of the relationship is you know, writing that with her.
Is she sober now?
She is. Well, I think as she would say, she abstains from alcohol.
So if your girlfriend decides that she's going to go downtown on you, you're okay with that?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Because you consider that a blowjob.
I would, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you could only blow a load through that thing, that's what they got to invent. Am I right or am I wrong? That would be the ultimate, yes?
You know, no, actually,
No?
that wouldn't, I mean...
I was thinking maybe that would be a nice thing for someone to invent.
No, just, you know, not really. I mean, I think for me, the ultimate would be able to you know, penetrate and have feeling. That would be my ultimate.
Is she allowed to put a finger in you?
No.
Exactly. Because that would break
your
spirit.
Yeah. And also, the other thing is that probably most people don't know is the testosterone...
dries you up?
Yep. Exactly. So it's actually painful.
Would be pleasant anyway.
It's really,
yeah.
it's actually, it's physically not nice.
What about all these? I worry about all these drugs they're pumping into you. They said in the Inquirer, and I knew you were upset about it, that Chaz is going to be dead in 4 years because he's taken all these
total
drugs.
Speculation.
Which is really an upsetting thing to have printed. True?
Yeah, just because it was incredibly like transphobic. I mean, it like talked about the high suicide rate and made it seem like if you're on testosterone, you're you know, you're at risk and all of the stuff that's just not true. And I didn't want it to scare people to think like if I transition, I'll be unhealthy, because there's you know, it's not. I mean, I in me have a normal male amount of testosterone, and so therefore I'm susceptible to all of the things that men are, but
so
I'm not
all these
more,
men are at risk.
But I'm not more susceptible, and,
Right.
and actually, and now, female, more female diseases, I don't have to worry about. So I basically traded one set of.
You still get a period?
I used to, yeah, a long time ago.
Not anymore.
I don't. Yeah, I actually had a hysterectomy, so I don't have any. But
That's beautiful.
Yeah, but
I mean, Jesus, was that the worst part of being a girl with that fucking period?
For me, it was really bad because I had really severe endometriosis, and so
oh dear,
that was it was
So you got nothing inside. You got no ovaries. You got none of that.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah. So, but the testosterone, if I still had it, it would stop the period.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Oh,
Yeah.
Robin, you ought to get a little. Oh well, you've
What?
stopped your period. That's right.
Yeah, I took care of it myself.
So, are you going to sue the Inquirer for saying you're near death, or do you want them just to apologize?
I just wanted them to really apologize and clear it up because, again, it's just it was the nature of it, and.
Your mom reads that and she goes, "Oh my God, Chaz is going to die," and all this.
I don't know. I don't think. No, she actually doesn't read that stuff. But yeah, like again, I don't want people to think that if you're under doctor's care, transitioning and doing it responsibly, you're going to be okay.
How come when you get to go to Cher's house, if you're a friend of hers, she conducts everything in the bathroom? Like there's dinner in the bathroom. I know.
Do you have to go into the bathroom too?
Yeah. Do you have to meet with her in the bathroom, or is there a special place? What you have?
I've hung out with her in her bathroom.
What is that?
She
I don't
likes
know.
her bathroom.
I don't agree with that.
But no, dinner's not in the bathroom.
It's not. What is it? I mean, you go in the house, and I mean, this is a wealthy woman.
Right.
Can't she sit in the living room?
What is it in the bathroom?
She does sit in the living room, but she does.
Like you go to like say, "Hey, Mom, I'm going to become a man," and you have to sit in the bathroom and tell her this. How degrading! I mean, this is an important discussion.
Come into the bathroom.
Why don't you just say to her, "Listen, everyone else sits in the bathroom with you. I'm not buying into that." Is she on the toilet? Is that it?
No.
You ever seen your mom go to the bathroom?
No.
I mean, what is that?
She does. She's got like this really nice day bed with the TV.
What is
in
that?
the bathroom.
Why would you have a daybed in your bathroom?
It was huge house.
Yeah. You marvel at this, right? No wonder Elijah's going cuckoo. Poor kid.
To get out of the house.
Elijah's still living in the house, I think, with Cher, right?
No.
No, he did move out.
No,
good.
he did move out.
But, who's he banging now? Do you know?
I don't know.
You don't even know?
No, I don't.
Fair.
I mean, I think could be numerous girls.
Are you dying to go out, now that you're full of testosterone and you're a man, are you dying to go out and fuck tons of girls?
Not really, no.
That didn't even occur, as this transition is going along. You were already in a relationship.
I was already in a relationship.
But you never said, "Whoa."
Are you getting hit on a lot?
All those women look really great.
Now that you're on TV all the time, are you getting hit on a lot? I would imagine chicks are definitely coming on to you.
I get like stuff on Twitter a little bit.
Oh, yeah?
But,
you're not going to act on it?
Well, no, I'm not going to act
You are. You're a guy. You're going to go out and
Can
fuck
we
it up.
trust you, or are you going to be
He's
just
a guy.
typical guy?
Now you're a guy. You got to be a typical guy. You're going to have to cheat. Sorry. You want to take this thing all the way? Let's go. I'll give you lessons. You're going to have to fuck around a little bit.
I mean, I did. That was one of the perks of Dancing with the Stars. Not that I fucked around, but, you get to dance with
Were you attracted to that?
Women.
Who were you with again?
I was with Lacey.
Are you surprised she is a little... Now, listen, I'm not saying she's heavy. I'm not saying she's fat, but she is a little chunky for a woman that dances that much. Am I correct?
I mean, I think that... I don't know. I think she's got a great body, personally. I mean, I like a little...
Were you attracted to her?
Curve. I think she's very attractive.
Could you have gotten her? Do you think you could have seduced her?
No, she's got a boyfriend that she's pretty happy with.
You didn't make any moves?
I didn't, no.
I don't believe you for a minute.
No, I
With
didn't.
all that testosterone, you didn't even pinch her ass? Or
I didn't. No.
Did you masturbate about her?
No.
You didn't fantasize?
I have this weird thing about masturbating about women. I think of that it's kind of insulting. I don't.
Then you still have feminine traits. You need more. You have to up the testosterone.
More testosterone necessary.
No, that is an honor.
I definitely, have, I think probably a lot more respect for women than the average guy. But,
You're a little low on testosterone.
So,
I think you need
well, who do you masturbate to then?
Porn on the internet.
Yeah? Oh, well, then you're a guy.
Yeah.
You're a guy. Chaz, it's complete now.
Yeah.
You are a man. If you were my son, I would say to you,
You're
son.
proud of him.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I thought it was bullshit up until now, but now I know. What's your favorite kind of porn? Let's get real.
What's my favorite?
I'm into babysitter porn myself.
Babysitter porn.
Have you checked that out?
No, I haven't.
This is where the babysitter, you know, obviously it's not a real babysitter. You know,
Right,
she's
I was-
over 18. You know, I mean, I'm not Sandusky.
Right.
Are you watching a lot of football and shit now that your testosterone?
You know, I've always liked football.
Yeah.
I haven't really been able to watch this season because I was working every Sunday. So
Yeah.
I'm really behind.
I hate it.
Do you?
Yeah.
I like football, but I haven't seen
I'm
any
the woman.
this year.
Let me tell you something. Babysitter porn. This is where the babysitter comes over.
Seduces the...
She fucks sometimes fucks the wife, too.
Wow.
And I love it. What are you into? Girl-on-girl action, or are you into guy-on-girl?
No, more guy on girl. I
You
think
are.
girl on... Yeah, I never really liked girl on girl because it's kind of fake looking to me.
Yeah, it seems a little forced.
I definitely, what I like is amateur stuff better than the professional stuff because I feel like this is so fake and that just gets in my head and I can't enjoy it.
What's your go-to porn scenario? You have to beat off. You have to get it done quick. What is your favorite? I know I'm going right to that YouPorn with the babysitter. I just type in babysitter.
I like the sites that just have tons of different stuff. I think it's called Lola's Tube.
Lola's excuse me for a second. I got to write that down. But Lola's Tube?
Yeah, I think it's called Lola's Tube, and it's
You got a pen?
It's got,
no. All right, well, I'll get one later. Gary, write that down for me.
You can find pretty much anything.
What is the last
on
thing
that.
you watched on Lola's Tube that you enjoyed?
What was the last thing I watched? I think it might have been. God, what was it? Can't remember.
You watch with your girlfriend, or you do it solo?
No, I do it solo.
You are a guy.
Yeah.
You're
I
a
do
man.
that solo.
Anybody who gives you any shit, you tell them to talk to me.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. You're fully transitioned.
I know. I'll say
you're beating off by yourself,
and the
watching
computer's
porn.
like a little office nook in the kitchen. So I'll even say, "Honey, I need
Oh, you will
give me
tell her.
15 minutes in the kitchen alone."
I think you need to just do it, sneak off somewhere, and be private.
Well, I try to do that, but
She's watching you like a
if
hawk.
she's at home, and it's a necessity.
You got to get the iPad. Obviously.
Right. I beat off to the iPad.
Do you?
Oh, I do. I do.
I have the iPad, and it never seems like it. At least on mine, it wasn't coming up fast enough.
Go to YouPorn. And you got Wi-Fi in the house?
Yeah.
Oh, so, well, I don't understand the problem.
Yeah.
How much dough did you get on Dancing with the Stars? Did they pay you the usual what is it, $150 or $250? I forget. My wife got offered it. And
Did she?
At the time, it was like what did I tell you it was?
I don't remember.
I think it's a low amount of money, considering the amount of money they make on that show. That one commercial would pay would pay a tenth of your salary.
You get a flat rate, and then if the longer you stay, you make more.
What kind of BS is that?
Let me tell you, it's a big incentive because it goes up, and you're like, okay, man, I can.
When you went on the show, right away, you take a look around at the landscape and you go, JR's winning. The guy's a war hero. He's been blown up, and he can dance. It's over. You might as well just fucking leave.
We thought JR was actually the first guy that I met, and Lacey and I, there was a spot where we could spy on other people, which we like to do a lot. And
who wants to practice when you can spy?
Yeah.
Right.
And so we saw JR early on, and we both were like, you know what, he's going to win. And
It's over. Yeah.
I really want him to win.
Me too.
He's an amazing dancer, and he is one of the just coolest people I've ever met. I mean, he's such a great guy.
Listen, I cry every day over my face, and I haven't been burned.
I know.
You know what I mean? This guy, he is unbelievable.
He's so awesome. And,
Positive.
You spend time around him, and you don't even see that that he was burned. I mean, he suddenly becomes like really handsome. He's just so, he just radiates such confidence and I don't know. He's definitely like a guy crush that I have. He's awesome.
Listen.
Yeah.
You can't have any guy crushes. We're not going that way.
The bromance.
Be like Myra Breckenridge. Now you want to go back and be a girl. That ain't happening.
No.
You're a man now.
I am.
Just stick with this. Hey, so what was that party you went to the other night with Arquette?
With David?
Yeah.
It was a Halloween party.
That was over
you were at one party and didn't you go to another?
That was Karina's
party,
we
were at
right?
Karina's party, and then we went to another
How
party.
bad you want to fuck her?
Karina?
Yeah.
I like
Scale of
Karina,
1 to 10.
actually. You know, going into the show,
Give me a break, Chaz.
scale of 1 to 10 with Karina.
Yeah.
Karina's cute, you know.
You wouldn't want to bang the shit out of her?
Karina is very attractive. There are a lot of very attractive women that
What
are
a
on that
body on her, modern.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
I'd beat off to that. On my iPad.
On your iPad.
So you were over at Karina's.
So we were over at
I heard she was
Karina's.
parading around almost naked.
You know, they're dancers.
They're free with their
They're
bodies.
very free. They're used to wearing not a lot of clothes.
Did you lose weight on Dancing with the Stars or
I
not?
did, yeah.
You a couple of pounds?
Yeah.
What are you doing about that? We're worried about your health.
Are you?
Yeah. I'm a real concerned guy.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, seriously, what's going on there?
No, I mean, I lost some weight. I'm just trying to keep going.
My theory?
Yeah.
It's sort of your passive-aggressive fuck you to Cher. You're going to parade around, your tight abs, this and that. You want me to be this skinny little girl. You know what? Fuck you. I'm going to eat my ass off.
Yeah.
What do you think of that theory?
No, I don't think it's that. I think, you know, I've given up everything, and I'm Italian, and I like food. That's pretty much
You're
it.
enjoying your food.
Exactly.
It's like, so what? That's it. I like
That's
it.
pretty much it. I don't think it's
too.
I don't think there's
way
a lot
simpler.
of. Yeah, I mean, you know, I gave up cigarettes 2 years ago, which was the hardest
thing ever.
Yeah. And I actually didn't gain any weight, but I didn't lose any either.
What was your favorite drug when you were into drugs? Heroin?
I never did heroin. No, I was prescription opiates always.
Oxycontin? Like Oxy
Oxys. That's what it ended up with.
Hillbilly heroin.
That's right.
No kidding.
Yeah.
How many pills were you taking a day?
Man, I was, you know, an astounding amount. At my worst, probably like 10, 11, 80 milligram oxys a day.
Well, how do you think you were able to get off it? Like what? Like most people just can't, and they just kind of are always addicts. What was the thing that changed your whole outlook on that?
I just, you know, I didn't have like this, you know, crazy bottom or anything. I really, it was. I finally just got honest with myself. I was in therapy actually, and I was.
What'd you find out?
What I didn't. I finally got. I'd been going, and it was like really half-assed, and I was like trying to wean off, but not really. And I was just kind of going to placate I don't know who, and it was like the beginning of the year, and I went into therapy, and I said, you know, I don't even know why I come here.
Right.
I don't like you. I don't want to quit doing drugs. I just want to do my drugs, and I wish everybody would just leave me alone to do them.
And then he pointed out you were being a baby, right?
No. She said, okay, so you're basically saying you just want to slowly kill yourself and push everybody out of your life. And I think just saying that aloud, when I finally said that and really hit me that, yeah, I didn't want to do anything else in my life but my drugs, it seemed pathetic. I hit my bottom. And It was like at that moment, I had that, you know, the moment of clarity that you hear about. And I was like, oh, my God, I've got to stop this.
Was it hard getting off them? They say it's the hardest addiction.
It was hard. I mean, I went to treatment.
Yeah.
So I had, you know, doctor weaning off. And I was just really ready. I don't know why some people can you know, get sober and some people can't, other than I wasted, you know, 10 years of my life being really miserable and feeling terrible, and I made a decision to not do that anymore.
You think Cher's got a will?
I would hope so.
Oh, my goodness.
She has to have a will, right?
I would hope so.
Have we ever approached her?
My dad didn't, so that was...
Yeah, he did that right? Did you see any money out of that?
Yeah, I did. I mean, all the kids, we all get a portion of his...
Oh, no kidding.
Of his songwriter royalties, which is...
That's it? Did he have any cash?
I have no idea.
It all went to Mary?
It all went to...
Son of a bitch.
So
all the fucking bullshit stories I've ever heard.
No, you know what?
How could Sonny not have a will?
And how much in royalties does Sonny have? I mean, he had. Did he write "I Got You, Babe"?
Absolutely.
He wrote "I Got You, Babe," and he owned it.
Yeah, and the beat goes on, and all of the hits. So yeah.
Oh, we're talking considerable cash money.
So yeah, so that's been actually, you know, very nice and very.
To me, it's more of an FU. There's no will in the gay marriage thing. I'll tell you that. I'm still not talking to Sonny over this.
Now we're stopping talking to Sonny.
You are kidding me.
Yeah.
He should. That's very childish. So you're sure Cher has a will?
Yeah, I'm
Now,
positive.
what do we think the distribution is going to be? I got to figure it like this. She's got a sister or something. I don't think she's giving it to... What's her name? Pepe Le Pew or something? I forget her name.
Georgiana
Le Pew or something?
Lapierre, yeah.
Lapierre, yeah.
And her mother's still here?
Yeah,
I think the grandmother can get $1 million or something like that. I'm thinking you...
$1 million?
That's it.
Nothing more?
Well, for the mother, she's not going to live that long. Listen to me. If we play this right, I think what we're looking at is the mother load. Now, listen to me.
How do you figure?
I think it's you and Elijah. That's it.
Right.
50, and the way he's going, he's pissing her off.
Why would you do 50-50?
There might be an 80-20 split on this.
Yeah.
I'm saying in your favor. Have you considered that?
I haven't.
You know what?
No.
Do you think you'll wind up in charge of Elijah?
And you should get. And you should. No, you should get.
That keeps me up at night.
Well, you should get way more than Elijah. You're Sonny's kid. You know, Greg was hardly put in any time. Do you think about it though? Do you think you and Elijah should just split 50-50 on this? Or do you think Elijah's responsible enough to be handed over all that kind of money?
That's why I say he should be responsible for Elijah.
I can see Cher's money going out the window in two minutes with him.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I'm sure my mom's pretty responsible, so I'm sure she's taken those kind of things into consideration.
In other words, there's an executor.
I'm sure there is.
I think with you, it would be safe to say she could leave you your portion. You don't need anybody.
Safe.
That would be safe. You will invest it. You'll take care of it. Elijah, let's have an executor handle his money. Fair enough?
You don't want to be responsible. You're telling your mother right now, don't make it me.
Yeah, I don't. Well, you know, no, I don't. I don't want to be responsible. I don't.
I got to tell you, although a good argument can be made, Cher maybe should hand over some of the money now. I mean, why not? Let her see the pleasure you have with the money. What do you think of that idea?
You know, I mean, she's very. I mean, my house that I'm in now, she
purchased.
She split it with me.
Wow.
So my first house I actually bought myself, and did really well with it because I bought it when the market was down, and I sold it right before it crashed.
Nice. Good for you.
So,
are you a millionaire?
Well, I guess with assets, yeah.
Yeah.
But then certainly not in the bank.
but seriously, that's an accomplishment, right?
Yeah.
And you've done it with you've done it on your own accord, right?
Yeah. So anyway, so we. You know, she wanted to help me get into a better, nicer house.
Nice.
So we split the house that I live in now.
Very generous.
It was very generous. So, yeah, she's always been, you know, she's extremely generous.
What kind of gifts does she give?
Good ones.
Yeah?
Yeah, generally really good ones.
Have her send me a gift.
Okay, I will.
What about Oprah? Now, have you sat down with her? I mean, you know, first of all,
You're doing all this stuff for OWN.
Let me tell you something. You're the only thing happening on OWN, you and Rosie. let me tell you something. And this is the truth. This Oprah, I remember when she started this network, she said, I'm not doing reality television. I'm not sinking. I think television has hit all-time low and blah, 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 blah.
Right.
10 minutes later, P.S., no fucking ratings. Who does she turn to? Let's get Chaz with the sex change. Right?
You know, we made that film independently, actually.
I see.
World of Wonder.
Okay.
And they purchased it. So I didn't make that with them.
Did you sit down with Oprah at all? Have you
met her?
I've met her, yeah.
Is she a big pain in the ass, or you were digging her?
No, she wasn't, no.
She doesn't understand us men. I don't think she likes us men. I'm being honest with you.
You know, I mean, I have to say, I met her. I'd done her show before. I did it for my first book. But, you know, you don't really get to know somebody like when you're doing a TV show. So, but we got to hang out with her a little bit at Sundance, and that was pretty cool because it is, when you're talking to her, it is Oprah. I mean, you can't help but be like, wow,
mesmerized.
It's Oprah, you know.
I imagine you have the same feeling with me sitting.
I did.
Yeah. You can mention that.
Howard, can I have one of those waters over there next to you?
Yes, absolutely. I've kept you on the. Well, listen, I'll also give you a water and I'll wind things up.
I appreciate it.
We've talked about,
you know, everybody wants to know what's up next. You know, not just this reality show, but
what's
are
up
you
next?
Gonna,
what's our plan here? I mean, we got to stay in Cher's good graces. I think the mother load is there.
Beside the point, we're going to stay in Cher's good graces.
We're going to keep.
What are we going to do while we're waiting for the mother load?
All right, what is the next move, Chaz?
You know, I'm not 100% sure yet, to be honest. I've been, you know, really focusing on this. You know, my dream is to kind of now, you know, I stopped acting because I couldn't play women, is the truth. And I realized that when I was at school, and I played a guy, and I was actually really good. So, you know, my dream would be to do a little acting, yeah.
Now, do you think you're such a personality now?
I don't know.
That's the thing.
That's the thing, yeah.
Will they accept you? Would you shave your head for a role?
Sure.
You will be willing to do that?
Yeah.
Any chance you could lose? You got a great head of hair. Would you ever lose your hair from all the testosterone?
I think I'm going to be okay because, you know, it's all genetic. So, and, you know, male pattern baldness isn't in either side of my family.
That would
so
be
I think
such a
I'm
bummer.
good.
Yeah.
I wouldn't like that.
Right, right. Now, what's going on with the beard? You're growing the full beard, but not the mustache.
I can't grow it yet.
You can't grow your mustache?
Nope.
I would think that'd be the first thing that'd come in, because you see women with mustaches. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, for me, it started coming down and up, kind of.
Will the doctor say, will the mustache come in?
I'm sure it will at some point, but it's really like going through a second puberty, and it's only been 2.5 years now. So
right.
Are you excited about, you know, because I noticed you do sport facial hair.
I do. I've waited my whole life to have
You got to go. I'm doing the facial hair thing myself now. I've waited my whole life.
I mean, so yeah, I'm pretty into it. I would like to get the mustache, you know, especially, you know, if I can grow it at some point, I'm going to shave everything but that, and, you know, see if I look like my dad at all.
Oh, that's
I'm
right.
kind of curious to see that.
Oh,
so.
yeah. I'm thinking of growing a Hitler mustache, bringing that whole thing back. Maybe you'll join me in that once that whole thing starts happening.
Is that ever like a good look for anybody other than Hitler?
I imagine the Hitler mustache, you know, remember Charlie Chaplin had it?
Yeah,
in other words, it was a popular mustache. Then this fucking Hitler fucked it up for everybody.
Totally.
He comes along and now everyone's like, I can't grow a Hitler mustache.
Nobody can do it.
I saw Denzel Washington try to bring it back.
He did?
They said that I saw a picture of him.
Really?
It was one.
I think it was Michael Jordan.
Was it Michael Jordan or
I
Denzel?
think Michael Jordan.
It was Michael Jordan,
Yeah.
you're right. He tried a Hitler mustache. It doesn't work. Everyone goes, Hitler.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let's go to Mark. Go ahead. Say hi to Chaz. Let me remind you, Chaz Bono on Being Chaz, premiering Sunday, November 27th, 8 p.m. on OWN, that's Oprah's network, who said she'd never have a reality show. I saw her say it. She quickly dropped that. And believe me, she'll be doing everything every other network will be doing. What about a talk show, Chaz?
Hey, Chaz, I want to congratulate you for coming on the Stern Show. You might not have all the equipment, but you have the balls to do the Stern Show, my
Well,
friend.
thank you. I appreciate it.
Chaz, was there a lot of discussion about coming on this show where did Cher say, listen, maybe you ought to stay off there? Or
No,
nothing?
actually, my publicist did. I've been wanting to do this for a while.
Yeah?
So...
And the publicist said, maybe you shouldn't.
And my publicist, Howard, said, you know, you're going to have to talk about, you know, penises the whole time.
What's wrong with that?
Your publicist knows his business.
Well, listen, I learned a lot. Why not? Isn't that part of the transgender community becoming part of the mainstream?
Absolutely.
People are curious.
Yeah.
What does it mean to have an engorged clitoris? What can you do with this thing?
Right.
Turns out you're doing the same thing I'm doing, which is depressing. I thought maybe you'd have a little bit of penis envy for me, but no way.
I do have a little penis envy.
All right, Dennis, go ahead, please, for Chaz. Another question.
Yeah, are you a tits or an ass man? What do you prefer? Nice ass or nice ass?
You know, I like them both, I have to say.
You like a woman with big breasts?
You know, big isn't important. Just nice. Nice breasts are nice.
When you were a woman, did you spend more time on a woman's breasts? Because they talk about in the lesbian community, women, when they make love, it goes on for hours and they touch the boobs and it's a whole thing.
It didn't go on. That's a lie.
It's a lie. It's a myth.
It's a myth.
And as you got more and more manly and testosterone filled, you spent less and less time on those boobs, right?
You know, the funny thing is that I didn't really notice boobs that much until I went on testosterone. And I've noticed that testosterone turns cleavage into an eye magnet, basically.
So you are an ass man? Is this your...
I appreciate a nice body, just like the next guy.
Who is the best-looking woman in Hollywood right now? If you could have your choice, who are you most attracted
I think
to?
I think the prettiest, I got to say Angelina Jolie.
Yet, Angelina Jolie, you did something very nice. Her daughter, Shiloh, you noticed in the paper that they dress her like a boy and this kind of thing. And you said, hey, maybe she's transgender. And you offered to go counsel Shiloh.
I didn't actually. That's
that sounds
a whole
odd,
made-up story.
What is the real story there?
I don't. Somebody asked me about it, and I think I said, you know, if I work with an organization called Transforming Family.
Okay.
And it was started by the mother of a trans kid. And, you know, we meet once a month in L.A., and we've got a support group with therapists for the parents. We do, I run a group with the teens, and then we have a play group for the young kids.
Nice.
And it's nice. And so I think I said something like, you know, if if it were applicable, and I don't know, I've never met them at all, I have no idea, and they, needed, support, I would be happy to, to point them in the right direction, but that,
it got misinterpreted.
Of course it got misinterpreted, so...
Should kids be allowed to be raised in the gender of their choice? Should kids make that decision that young?
I believe so,
they should,
yeah.
There was just a case I heard people talking about where a boy who feels like a girl wanted to become a Girl Scout. Mm-hmm. What do you say in that situation?
I say then, let her become a Girl Scout. I mean, look, I've always felt this way. So unlike, sexual orientation, which you really, at puberty you kind of start to figure out because it's about attraction, I think people are conscious, as soon as they have consciousness, if you feel like a boy or a girl, especially in our country where we make such, the pink or the blue or whatever.
Right.
So, the kids that I work with that have socially transitioned are happy, well-adjusted.
But should they allow
kids.
hormone treatments for young kids?
Well, they don't. Nobody
they don't,
does.
right? Nobody would do that.
Nobody would do that. You don't have hormones as a young kid. No, what they're doing now is doing for puberty, doing hormone blockers, and that basically delays puberty for a little while until the family can decide, when to let the kid go on cross-hormone therapy.
It's got to be confusing to a parent because you got to go like, hey, maybe this is just a phase. We don't know. We can't tell. And maybe we shouldn't encourage this.
But not only that, your parent doesn't usually have any say in those decisions. Your body just does what it does.
And by the way, to Keith Avilo, I don't think if you watch Chaz on TV every single day for 24 hours a day, that would make you transgender. I don't think so.
No.
I mean, I just don't see that.
I thought he lost his mind.
Yeah, go ahead, Gabe. Real quick, last question for Chaz, and we'll let him out of here. You got somewhere? What's the rest of your day? What are you doing?
I'm doing a couple more interviews here at Sirius.
Okay.
And then I'm doing Wendy Williams.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Now you talk about big tits. I mean, those things are out of control.
Wendy is amazing.
Wendy's a hoot, actually.
Right.
I did her show before, and it was fun.
She's a character.
She is a total character.
Yes.
And yeah,
I feel you're having more fun here than you did with Wendy. I'm getting jealous.
I'm having a great time here, actually.
She should Bronski you, quite frankly. That would be good. Yeah, Gabe, go ahead quickly.
Hey, Howard. Great interview as always. I just want to say, Chaz, by the way, awesome for coming on. You were really, really great today.
Thank you.
I just want to say for Halloween, I was you, and I dressed up as Chaz. It was
How do you do that? What did you wear?
Is there a mask?
I wear the sweater vest, and then I'm kind of stocky like Chaz, and I had a beard. I drew on a beard. Everyone loved it, and everyone's like, "Oh, this is the best costume." So it was cool.
That's awesome.
I had a picture of Chaz and her dancer. Like I had her kind of attached to me.
Oh, that's good. That's a good one.
Yeah, no, everyone's like,
who was the sexiest chick on that show? Thank you. Who was the sexiest chick on that show?
I think Lacey is.
Lacey.
I really do think she is. I mean, if you watch her in the numbers with the pros,
yeah,
I'm telling you, she just sticks out. She's good.
Have you ever been to a strip club to get a lap dance?
I haven't since I transitioned, but I had been before.
Oh, you got to go.
I'm open.
You're
I'm
totally
open to it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you need to go.
So yeah.
There's a lot of shit you got to do.
I know.
You got to go to all those rites of passage.
Is marriage in the future?
Hell no.
Probably not. I don't know.
No.
You'll see in the special. We've been going through some stuff.
I think there's a breakup going on here. Am I right?
We're in a kind of a tough space, so I don't know what's going to happen. But
you want to leave or she wants to leave?
I don't know that it's about leaving yet, and I hope it doesn't get there. It's just hard. We're really different. We're just different kinds of people.
And it's a whole new world for you.
Well,
I wonder who you're going to go out with. You feeling guilty about breaking up? Like, hey, the whole world is Chaz now, and all of a sudden you're...
No, because we haven't broken up yet. So
I think you're preparing us for it. You're preparing us for it.
No, I'm preparing you for the special because there is... It's tough to watch, actually. It's hard. That's the weird thing about when you do, documentary stuff is that life still happens.
Stuff, yeah.
Do you have the camera with you 24 hours a day?
No. We did... we originally were going to shoot, I think, 10 days, and then when Dancing with the Stars happened, we decided to keep going because it was such a good story.
Did they let you have the cameras backstage at Dancing with the Stars?
No.
They wouldn't allow, because that's their material.
We did shoot a rehearsal.
But how weird is it when you have these cameras on and you're just sort of sitting there reading a book? Don't you feel like, oh my God, I got to
do something? They don't. No, they don't.
I better go fight with my girlfriend.
They don't come by to watch you read a book.
That's what I mean, though. But I mean, if it's reality,
I'm reading a book now. You better get here.
You know what? Like all of a sudden, I'm like, I'm acting crazy. I mean,
when we did the documentary, that was, Becoming Chaz was really, really felt that really was a documentary in the true sense. And this is a little bit more like a reality show in that, we kind of knew, like, this is what we're going to do today. And
you have a game plan.
You have a game plan, but, when life happens, it catches it, even if you have a game plan.
You never find yourself forcing out a little bit extra fighting or maybe...
No.
No?
No, if anything, no. I'm not a big drama guy, so...
I would feel such pressure to perform.
Would you?
Yeah, I'd be like, woo-hoo-hoo, wee!
It's a hard way to make a living. That's for sure.
Oh, Luca wants to say hi to you. Fellow Dancing with the Stars, David Arquette.
Oh, David's on the phone.
What's happening? Howard, that was the greatest interview. You're the best.
It was all the questions you wanted to ask.
Well, we're just talking some man talk here. We're talking pussy, we're talking farting, we're talking porn. This is the way it's got to be. David, what was the second party you guys went to that night?
We went to Kate Hudson's party.
There's a piece of ass. You should tag that.
What was she that night?
Chaz, when you break up, which it sounds like no offense, it's going in.
Go after Kate?
What if you hook up with Kate Hudson? It'll be the biggest fucking story on the planet.
Well, I go to this party and hey, Chaz, come to this party, and then Chaz knows everybody at the party. I didn't know anybody.
Hey, you know what'd be great? Maybe not for you, David, but Chaz all of a sudden starts dating Courtney, your ex-wife.
Oh, please.
What do you mean, oh, please?
Oh. And then I start dating Cher.
Yeah. There we go.
Forget Cher. Are you attracted to his ex-wife, Courtney Cox?
I mean, she's a beautiful woman, but it's his ex-wife.
So
this is my friend. I'm not going to start going.
Oh, you're into the man code.
He's in the man code.
You are a man.
Yeah.
In every sense of the word.
I wouldn't do that.
You wouldn't fuck Courtney Cox Arquette because you know David.
Absolutely.
And you're a man.
I would never do that.
You're a man.
So
you're my
Howard,
kind
let
of
me
man.
tell you this.
I would fuck his wife in 10 seconds.
This is what I want to do next.
Thanks, Howard.
Actually.
You're welcome.
I want to do a show with David and JR and Carson Kressley and
Love
do
Carson.
a male version of The View with the four of us.
That would be interesting.
David, you're a producer.
I think it's a winner. I think
Here's what I want you to consider.
Okay.
I want you, David, Carson Kressley, and who was the fourth?
JR.
And JR, to do a test show here on Howard 100.
Okay.
Oh.
Do it for an hour. Get on the radio. I'll give you an hour. Let me hear what this sounds like. And I guarantee if you got anything on the fucking ball here, we'll get this show on the air.
I'm game.
You up for it, David?
I'm up for it. Hell yeah.
And I want to hear pussy talk. I want to talk about your wife.
A real male view.
I want to hear Chaz talking about fucking your wife.
No, but I don't want
to have done that.
But no, you know what?
Well, he's going to do it. I'm going to coach him.
I think the good thing about the four of us, too, is that I think we could attract female viewership as well.
Absolutely.
So
I think women would be fascinated.
Yeah, I think, we're offbeat guys, and I think we
you're
could.
Not kidding.
I think it's a motley crew.
Offbeat, yes.
When I think of offbeat, forget you. I'm thinking David. Hey, David.
Yeah.
So, anyway, you went over to Kate Hudson's.
Yeah.
And Chaz knows everyone in the room.
Yeah.
I knew the people who were co-hosting it with them are my mom's best friends.
Who's that?
The Starks.
The Starks?
Who own Chrome Hearts.
Oh, everybody there's somebody. Yeah, I never get invited to any of that stuff. Hey, you know what I never realized? I didn't know your first true love was one of your mom's best friends.
Yeah.
And you made love to her.
We were a couple.
Yeah. And your mom said, good. Go ahead. You'll learn something from her.
She didn't have a problem with that?
That's
no,
pretty cool.
She said, I think it'll be, a good life experience.
My mother never condoned me fucking any of her friends.
No, she never let you have any of them.
Yeah, but that's time for another story. All right, hey, David, I'm going to go.
All right, see you, pal.
All right, everything all right with you?
Yeah, man. Great interview. Thank you.
All right, hey.
Way to go, Chaz.
Thanks, man.
All right, later, David.
Chaz, was Dancing with the Stars good for you in the sense of opening doors and getting phone calls, from people who wanted to do business with you?
Not yet, but hopefully it will be. But it was
I don't know. I talked to Steve Guttenberg. He says not one door has opened.
Really?
He's still waiting for that door. Although he's in the new Woody Allen play.
Oh,
yeah.
There's
that's
something.
right. There you go.
For me, I think that the best thing about it was that it gave me a lot of confidence. I overcame things that I didn't think that I could, and
physical stuff and mental.
Physical and it's the hardest gig on TV,
right?
And it is the pressure is insane,
and that live performance,
the live performance, man. And when you get through that, you feel like, oh my God, I can do anything.
I don't know how you memorize. You don't memorize all this stuff. Sometimes at points you just kind of fake it, right?
No, you
do
have to. Yeah, David and I actually used to talk about. He would ask. He's like, "Do you count? Do you count?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, I have to. I had to start." David never counted. But yeah, if you can get up there and have you ever thought about it?
What, dancing with the stars?
Guys? Yeah,
I've been asked, and I have not agreed to do it. No.
Nah, and my wife was asked, but she said there's no way she's doing it.
No,
that would probably be too weird for us.
It's I really would recommend it to anybody to do.
You don't like dancing though, right?
I do like it.
Like you're not going to go take dance.
Are you going to
classes.
now continue to dance?
I was thinking I might just do a dance class just for fitness. Yeah.
Wouldn't that be great if you became a professional ballroom dancer? All of it, like that's your next move. Yeah, I'm going to take this dancing thing seriously.
That'd be pretty funny.
Now, by the way, the only good judge on there is Len. The other two, I fast forward through, and I know you were upset with the
Bruno.
For calling you Ewok and all that shit. Fuck him.
I did like. I mean, Carrie Ann was sweet to me.
Yeah.
So
would you bang her?
Appreciated. She's attractive. Actually.
She's attractive.
She's attractive. So.
But I don't know. She says nothing.
Yeah, but what's Bruno's deal? He's got to position every commentary.
I think the hard part is, and I get it. The show's about entertainment.
Did you go up to him afterwards and say, I'm going to kick your ass if you call me an Ewok again?
Another animal reference, and I'm...
No, but
a little more testosterone and you will.
Actually,
Have you had any fist fights since you've made the transition?
No.
Oh, you gotta get into fighting a little bit.
No more aggressive? You haven't noticed that?
You need to beat the shit out of somebody.
I before I transition, I could barely access anger, and now I think I have I can feel it. I have a healthy relationship with it, but I'm not like a.
Do you spit at all now?
Do I spit?
Yeah, like do you ever just go around and go?
No, I don't.
Just spit randomly.
No.
Is that a man thing?
Right. Well, yeah, kind of. I think guys are gross myself. All right, listen, Chaz, we could bullshit all day.
Could.
I mean, I love it.
All day.
But listen, you got to go see Chaz on Being Chaz. I'm right there. Anything Chaz I see. You done with the tattoos or you going crazy?
I'll probably get more.
Really?
Yeah. I haven't, I do it every few years. You do one and then it hurts like crazy and that, will put me off for a few years and then I forget how much it hurts and,
and then you go back.
Yeah,
right.
So, do you have any?
Yeah, I got a couple.
Yeah.
Marriage, this one.
Yeah, that's big.
Home symbol. Do you think that's funny?
2 seconds.
Look,
and I
mean, he's got major work.
I got some shit going on up here. I go get some more, but you know what? I've been busy lately. I just don't have time to get down there. I got one on the back of my neck.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing as major as you're taking up your whole arm there.
Yeah.
What is that? An eagle or something?
No, that's a phoenix.
Oh, sorry.
Which I got when I got sober. So. And a lot of mine have a little meaning to me.
Yeah, none of mine have any meaning.
Then he's got another one on the other arm that you probably haven't even noticed.
Oh, I noticed that.
Whoa.
That's I'm a Pisces, so that's a koi fish.
Yeah, this is something to do with Capricorn, and I hate astrology. I don't know why I did that. And it's silly.
Yeah, I was talking to Lacey about it. I wanted to, and I still want to get something to commemorate the Dancing with the Stars experience.
Don't do it. You'll be upset with yourself.
Well, no.
In a year, you'll go, what was I, high?
It'll be cool. No, it'll be cool. It was a life-changing experience.
Get a picture of Lacey's ass right on your arm. I'll take a look at that.
The best we could come, I was like, what stands for courage? And she's like, a lion. Get a lion with toe shoes. And I was like, no, that's not going to work.
Oh, no.
That's not, you lost me there.
Did you get to see her naked at all?
No, not
truth.
Fully, no.
What'd you see, just titties?
No, I wish that.
Do some of these girls think, oh, she used to be a girl, and that he's not, he's a guy, and then they go and they show you your titties?
No.
They don't?
No,
then you're a guy.
I think that, yeah. I mean, if you spend time around me, it's pretty clear that I'm a guy.
Yeah,
so,
hey, I'm digging you.
But
I'd hang with you.
Yeah. So, no, I really didn't. I would have liked to have seen.
Nobody forgot.
Nobody forgot. Nobody forgot.
Nobody forgot.
Yeah.
So how much of her did you see naked? Her lower half?
No, I didn't really see
all right.
anything. I mean, I didn't. I think I
Brooke Burke turned you on, or you just like that she's too plastic for you?
I liked Brooke. Brooke was very sweet. I didn't think of her sexually, but she was, I mean, that's the other cool thing about the show. Everybody who worked, the crew, everybody. Everybody's nice on that show.
Do you still trim your bush? If when you transition, is that a decision you have to make?
It was a decision, yeah.
I say you don't. I say you went full bush.
I for the most part don't. Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
I'm full bush.
You don't groom.
I don't
Just
groom.
don't groom.
You know what? We're men.
Yeah.
Fuck everyone.
Exactly.
You want me to groom a bush? I'll become a woman. My bush is full. Do you know my hairs on my bush are longer than my penis? What do you think of that? What do you make of that? It's pathetic, right?
Yeah, that would be.
I go in the bathroom, I pee, and I go, the hairs are longer.
Where is it?
I go, what is going on? Looks like an egg in the bird's nest.
See, if I were you, I'd keep it really short.
I tried that. I look like a baby.
Bigger. No? Okay.
It's not a good look. Listen, I could talk about this all day. Chaz, you're
Also,
delightful.
now when you transition, Howard, you have to pick a new name. So was that?
Are you saying I should transition?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe.
It was, for me, it was pretty easy. I was growing up. I was called Chas. So, I was really comfortable with that.
Chaz is a good name.
And so it was just like you changed the S to the Z. And I kind of, it took me about 9 years to get the courage to do this.
Yeah.
So, at some point I started, before I even started testosterone, I just started, encouraging people to call me Chaz. So it was pretty easy.
And when you say the courage to do it, because all of a sudden you're going to...
Yeah, you got to tell everybody.
Yeah, and you got to walk around as a guy, and you got to hear everyone's bullshit.
Yeah.
What's the meanest thing anybody ever said to you? It couldn't have been the Ewok thing or, all that.
Just stuff on Twitter.
Yeah, huh?
Is mean.
People mean. They're so mean to me, too.
Well, anonymously, people are really mean.
Yeah. I mean, I've gotten no wonder your dad skied into a tree.
Oh my God, no.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
People are just there for you, aren't they?
Well, how the hell did Sonny ski into a tree? I thought he was an expert skier. What the fuck happened?
What happened is he decided, and it was stupid, but it had just snowed, and I guess there were two runs kind of parallel to each other with a tree section in between, and he went to ski over to the other one, which he had been doing, and it was new snow, and he skied into the tree.
I never ski. I'm not looking for trouble. Do you ski?
I haven't skied in a long time. I grew up skiing.
Yeah, notice you don't do it. You know why? Because you're smart. Because you don't want to end up on a tree.
What are all those other people doing?
I'm the same with you.
Yeah.
That skiing nonsense. It'll be cold. Ugh.
That's the only thing I don't like about it. It's freezing.
Yeah.
Oh, please. Freezing. So what? I'm
that
moving
doesn't
fast.
Sound like fun.
Yeah. Why don't you ski?
I think I just, I would, if I was...
Even after what happened to your dad, you would ski?
Yeah.
No, you wouldn't.
Of course I would. It was, he made a poor decision on the fly, and, I wouldn't ski through the trees. So I think I would feel...
Tattoo that on your arm. I'm not skiing through any trees. I would love to see that. All right, listen, Chaz. Every time I try to end this, we get into something else.
I know.
We could talk forever.
How long is your show?
I think it was over an hour ago.
Okay.
All right. See Chaz Bono on Being Chaz, premiering Sunday, November 27th at 8 p.m. on OWN. And thank you for coming in. I've wanted to meet you for a long time. I admire your courage. I know you've gone through a lot. And I'm right in your corner. Anybody fucks with you,
I'm sending them your way.
Your pal Howard will believe me. I can bully everyone for you. We'll get our revenge one of these days.
Okay.
All right, and we'll be back right after these words.
Chaz.
Yes.
I don't think that could have gone any better.
No, it was awesome.
I feel like a real bond was formed between the two.
Totally, I had a great time.
Howard requires a lot out of his interview subjects. So, I mean, that's not only a lengthy interview, but he's taking you through these pivotal moments in your life.
Right.
And asking you to be completely honest about it. And then he'll stop on a dime and make a joke and mix that in. What's that experience like?
I think he's a very good interviewer, actually. He gets you to just, it's very conversational and yeah, I do. I think he's an excellent interviewer.
And even though you mentioned to me prior to your interview that you were a fan of Howard's, that there weren't any ill feelings, did he change some, preconceived notions you might have had about him after experiencing this?
Not, you know, I mean, I got that he was a good guy, especially like when I saw Private Parts, I was like, okay, this is a good guy, and so you know, no, I think you know, I just wanted to try to have fun and you know, not be uptight, and I think that's the key with him is just you have fun and you play along, and it's great. And he's really good. You know, so many people. I obviously do a lot of interviews, and you know, some people are so clunky about it. And the nice thing about Howard is he does it so seamlessly. You're just having a talk.
It became a very natural give and take.
Absolutely, yeah.